Instagram teen accounts have automatic protections for what teens see and who can contact them, plus time management tools. And Instagram will continue adding built-in safety features to help create age-appropriate experiences. Learn more about teen accounts and Instagram's ongoing work to protect teens online at instagram.com/teenaccounts.
It's a New York fish. Stop stocking invasives. Pinch your bobs. Park your car. Fuck your mother.
Alrighty, guys. This week, we've got an unbelievable show on deck for you guys, Jigs and Bigs. It is happening. Listen, we know. We've all been there at one time or another. Just as fishing season kind of starts ramping up, you're in the middle of a full-on crash-out panic mode attempt at trying to organize the madness that is a tackle junkie's life. This week, though, we have a few tips on how you can get your life together, at least concerning the tackle, without at least losing your marbles. Plus, AVF Tackle has been operating for just about a week, and we're going to find out how it's been. And also, what's been the really popular items that people have been buying. Plus, this week, we have the hosts of Small Ponds, Big Dreams, Matt and James. They're going to sit down and talk fishing, baits, and podcasting. All that and a beer and another beer, some tequila, and more beer. And all that's coming up right after this. I've earned that, you know? I wrote the intro down, I read it off the script, and we managed to do it tonight in one take, Joe. It's going to be fantastic.
It's perfect.
You know what would have been even better?
What's that?
Had I started recording. No, I'm kidding. I'm recording. It's all good. See, I got you guys. We got jig heads popping in here left and right. Let's see. First in here, we had Dave Urkey, the Wolf of Walmart. Amazed with the new addition to the family. He's making time to squeeze into this live stream for our jig heads, which is just amazing. We're glad to have you here, Dave. Hope all is going well. Oh, and he's doing a walkthrough at FluxJet in a little bit, so that should be pretty interesting. We got Todd fishing in the sticks in here. Says that things are changing up at work with the phone policy, so he's got to be a little bit discreet, if you know what I'm saying. Let's see, what else do we have here? We've got Jay Manning in the house joining us. How we doing, Jay? Looking forward to the warm weather, he says, and I fully agree. I assume that's the same feeling for you, Joe, although word on the street is that the Icon made a trip to a new destination today, huh?
It did.
Yeah, you were spotted on the road by one of our listeners.
Really?
Yeah. Alec Plotnikevich saw you.
Oh.
Yeah. He's like, word on the street is there's a beautiful green Icon going down the pike. Yeah. Fucking A.
Yep. Yeah, she was. So obviously I'm heading to Tennessee Tuesday for the Classic and bringing the boat, and I had to pull it out of storage, but like my driveway still doesn't have the room with all the snow and shit.
For sure.
So it is sitting inside of it is hidden. I hid my boat inside of a military equipment warehouse, and no one knows it's there except for me and one other person I trust.
That's kind of amazing. Alec.
Yeah, just backed it in there. I was like, no one's gonna know.
What a fucking ballsy maneuver. I give you credit, dude. That is pretty badass, man. Unbelievable. Let's just go ahead and do a little quick housekeeping before we go and we get too far into this. Guys, in case you're wondering, you're listening to the show for the very first time, welcome to the Jigs and Bigs podcast. My name is Bobby Roast Beef. I am the host of Jigs and Bigs, and I've got with me each and every week for you Joe Brown, the original American Vet Fishing, as my My very skilled and all-knowing co-host. We have ourselves a real good show. It's an entertainment-based kind of podcast right here. We've got a good amount of conversation. We aim to grow the community on the fishing niche a little bit and kind of keep everybody in touch. Plus, anytime we can, we hope to educate a little bit and share some knowledge and just it's all about fellowship and having a good time. We do have some Jigs and Bigs merch if you're so inclined. You want to check out what's going on over at jigsandbigs.com. Just released a brand new t-shirt design that's I'll just say it's a horror punk influenced type logo, and I kind of like it. I like it a lot. People have been buying it. That's pretty awesome. And it's only been out for like 7 or 8 days so far. You can always listen to the show on your favorite podcasting platform. So whether you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any of the other big ones, even if you're listening over on YouTube, that audience at the YouTube channel is growing as time goes on, and it's starting to catch on over there, which is great. But whatever you do, remember that ratings and reviews at whatever your platform allows definitely help us out. And if you hear us mentioning, and I know I mentioned the Jig Heads earlier, our Jig Heads are our Patreon followers. They get access to the live stream recording of the show as it happens. So this way they can be part of the conversation and just kind of see how the sausage gets made. And later you'll hear some calls from our audience and folks asking questions, as well as submitting things like our FTG segment, which is Fuck That Guy. All of those calls come in through the hotline, which is area code 413-324-8519. Recommend you take that number and you put it in your phone, because if you like Jigs and Bigs, you can call or text us. We're going to be talking about texts specifically on that line in just a few minutes. Go ahead, save that in your phone and get in touch with us now. With all of that said, let's get caught up. I know, Joe, you've had a busy week. Let's talk about AVF's week. You know,
let's talk about
the first week, because we both have stuff to talk about. Myself as a customer, but you go ahead. What's it been like over there,
man? So, you know, for it being a pretty much just a small team, it's been busy.
That's awesome.
It's been consistent. Nothing crazy. I mean, I'm not putting out tackle warehouse numbers by any means. Shan loves my mustache.
He does. He's a big fan.
You know, not by any means, but it's doing good, and especially since my Google SEOs hadn't even hit until I think yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Great. So, you know, I'm pumped. A lot of it was coming from Instagram. That's awesome. And Facebook, a lot of the customers, but yeah, dude, it's been good. A couple I fucked up a couple times. Luckily, it was two people that we know. Fucked up a little bit. I just said the wrong color on something, and I was after it because I have like a very small like packing line. You know what I mean? Where I pack everything.
Oh yeah.
And I packed a few boxes, and I look, and I was like, "Huh, I must have pulled 2 extra jigs."
Oh,
yeah, nope. Those were Topless Timmy Jakes' jigs.
Oh, they were Topless Timmy Jakes' jigs.
So I got a text from him. So I got to send those out to him this weekend.
Man, what the fuck?
And then Scuba Steve, he made an order, and he ordered a JDM bait, and he ordered a few things, and I mixed up, like he ordered one thing in green pumpkin, and I gave that to him, and then the other thing, I must have looked at it as green pumpkin, like from the other thing, but it was actually a different color, so I'll just shoot him down the other color as well.
There you go.
So
yeah, hey, it's when you're working out the kinks, you know what I mean? And then Burt Ward chimes in here. He says, you sent out a white dildo by mistake. that wasn't a mistake. We're gonna get there.
That was not a mistake. There's actually a pretty funny story behind that, to be honest.
There is. Benya says, I got a couple of orders in my cart right now. See,
hey, guys, Bert, also, I don't know if you saw it on the socials or whatever. You said, let's get a code. Dude, there's a code right now. It's open 10. It's 10% off until Sunday, I think at midnight. So you get 10% off everything in store from now until, basically Monday morning. So
I hate that this is just a fidget toy for the moment.
Oh yeah,
I do.
Dude, those are so gnarly.
They are. They're so badass.
You know how hard it is to see all those,
Yes.
thousands and thousands of dollars worth of JDM reels, and I can't just put them on all my own rods.
Oh yeah. No, 100%. Oh my God. I 100% understand that.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what now I mentioned this in the intro, but like, what do you think have been like, even like just a short list of like what some of the hottest things that you've been selling lately?
So the Hags Hurricane jig has been super popular.
Yep. I had a feeling it was going to be.
Or the Hurricane bladed jig. So the Hags Hurricane bladed jig, for those of you who don't know, Hags is a pretty good up and coming. They have more premium stuff, but it's at a really good price point. A really good price point.
Yep.
And Hags jumped on the fact that the jackhammer patent ran out.
Yeah, they did.
And so basically the Hags Hurricane is essentially a jackhammer, but for $7.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
You can't go wrong with that. The thing's fucking nice, dude.
Yeah.
So that's been super popular. The Hags prickly pears have been super popular.
Yep.
Those have been going pretty quick.
I'm sure.
A few reels have gone out. I'm trying to think here. Hags has been the most popular brand that I've been selling.
That's awesome.
Hags and Depths have been really popular. Some Fisher Dye has gone out. Then a lot of like randoms, onesie twosies of like other brands and whatnot. Yeah. Some Mega Bass stuff has gone out. Oh my God. Fucking Bill has bought a couple Mega Bass things, but he doesn't know what colors they are. But anyway,
it's fucking awesome, dude.
Oh God, that was funny. I was laughing during that text thread between us three last night. But yeah, dude, it's been awesome. I fucking came home to 2 ginormous boxes of all the BWA stuff got in today.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. So all the BWA stuff is live on the site. And just so you guys know, so BWA is a premium like soft plastic and swim bait company. But they're actually a European company.
Oh, really?
BWA is a European company.
Oh, no kidding.
So, yep. I also got the Black Spirits in today, swim baits.
Yeah.
My goodness. Those things are gnarly. But that capsize, I sent a picture of the capsize to Binya, and he's like, yeah, you might as well just go ahead and put that thing aside for me. I was like, all right. Well,
I got one in the cart.
Yeah, you have to get the bladed jigs from Hags for $7, dude. You can't beat it. I already had to do another order of the Hags, some of the Hags stuff.
Really?
Because, I didn't, especially with Hags, I didn't have a ton of knowledge. Like I knew of them, but didn't have a ton of knowledge of them.
Yep.
So I wasn't buying 100 of each thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I was trying to see what was popular, and they're red. I want to say red crop. It's not red. It's like red party or something like that of the bladed jig, the Hurricane jig.
Yep.
Has been the most popular like single item. I only have a couple of them left.
No shit.
Yeah, dude. And they're a fire craw. They're a fire craw jackhammer for $7.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. That's great.
You can't go wrong with that. And like I said, the prickly pears. I have Big Joshies shipped out today.
That's awesome. Oh, that's
Big Joshies shipped out today. What else shipped out? Oh shoot, he sent me that thing. So I got the Cinch swim baits coming.
Yep.
I do have those coming. Robo Worm shipped out. What else here? What else? That's all I could think of. There's more. That's just what I could think of off the top of my head.
There was something I had in mind to ask you about if you had it, but I forgot what it was. Let me go through the brands. And
discount code is OPEN10. OPEN10.
Throwback. Yeah. I had a conversation.
Throwback. Yeah. So
that's on the way.
They're showing out of stock because they're waiting. They're waiting on producing one other model before they ship my order.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm going to see those guys down at the Classic, so I'll kind of get an update then.
There you go. There is, I had a conversation with Dave Key just the other night. We were talking about glides, and he was like, seriously, and I forget exactly which one, if it was the retro, I think it was, or if it was the retro or the metro, but he was like, it hands down, and so far it's one of the best glides I've ever thrown.
Yeah.
He's like, it's so just well engineered and put together that like you can't fuck up the action.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, you're selling pretty good, Dave. Are you on the payroll too?
Yeah, they're wild baits, dude. I've you know, and I met those guys for the first time in person last year down at the iCast.
Oh,
solid dudes, solid dudes, and I kept that, and I think we talked about them on the show a couple times, like after iCast, because I was like, dude, like these things are awesome, like their marketing, like their brand is just so fucking cool, like that, like almost like that 80s throwback, pun intended. And they're just solid dudes, like Doug, you know, and then they were up at the New England show. Yeah. And so I was able to talk to them there. I was like, and they, you know, a couple of them remembered me from iCast. And, you know, so we got to hang out there, you know, me, him, and Taylor, them. And, yeah, I sent him an email because I was like, you know, I was kind of up in the air whether I was going to go down to the Classic or not. And, you know, I told him, I was like, hell yeah. And then, so now, like, I like, now that words get out that I'm going to the Classic, I've been getting like, you know, like, hey, like, you know, see you down at the Classic. You know, people are starting to, like, you know, one of my buddies who fishes the opens, he's going to be down there. The guy who owns the distributor company, I've been talking to him. He's going to be down there. My boy Shan Willis.
Shan will be with you. You guys are fishing, right?
So he was the first one I told. So yeah, him and I are going to be kicking it a bunch.
That's awesome.
I'm actually bringing Shan out. I mean, like we talked about, Shan's coming out on the boat.
Hell yeah,
you know, so we'll have a good time. As long as it runs and everything, I gotta check that out. So, dude, I literally took that thing out of storage today and went right to. It was fucking stupid. It was so we have trailers that we use for like domestic operations, like if there's like riots and bullshit like that.
Sure.
It has all of our equipment in it. And they're parked up next to this warehouse. And they had got our guys are going to do some training down the Cape this week. So like basically our vehicle maintenance went through them just to make sure they're all good and everything. Yeah, I gotta learn how to fish weird-handed. He's not bringing rods. Just got to use mine. So dude, so I pull up with the icon next to the warehouse and like the vehicle maintenance people, because I don't know who's a cheese-eating rat. You know what I mean? Exactly. Who's going to rat me out for putting this thing in the warehouse. So, dude, I just like pull up and they're looking at me, and I just get out of my truck, dude, just like whistling and kicking the ground, just waiting for them to
just trying to play it cool.
Dude, and my buddy, I texted my buddy, one of the other dudes, he got in there and it was opening the bay door. And I like look over as he's like opening it. I'm like,
oh, yeah, like this isn't the time.
So giving them the, no, not yet. And yeah, so I got it in. It was a tight fit. But dude, it's fucking training weekend this weekend. So I'm hoping they don't need to go in there for anything.
Oh.
I mean, no one's going to, I don't know why I'm so scared. No one's going to fucking say shit to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they're going to be like, hey, you got to move that. I'm like, cool, I'll move it Monday when I get to work. Like go around it.
Yeah.
And there's a couple people that I trust. Be like, all right, dude, just fucking pull it out and I'll fucking, like whatever.
If it was like absolutely like a real problem. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, which I don't think it will be. They kind of know that I'm just like, I'm on the way out. So
yeah.
It's funny because I had my I had my last military physical yesterday.
Oh, really? Was that was it bittersweet, or were you like, fucking A, this shit's over?
Yeah. Yep.
Now I just get to be told I'm pre-diabetic.
I'm definitely pre-diabetic. I don't know how I'm not.
You're definitely not, man.
That shit runs in my family like crazy. Yeah. But yeah, dude. So I had that, and a couple of my, all the weekend warrior guys were there today. So they were trying to get me to go out drinking after work. I was like, can't do it. I was like, I got boxes to pack. I got
show to
all
record.
Kinds of shit. I got a show to record. I'm supposed to do Whatnot at 9, dude. I might have to cancel it. That's what I was. I had a schedule for
you're
a
doing
week and a half. And
gotcha.
My dude, I'm running off of like my phone. Right, we have like no internet right now. The ice fucking fucked up our internet.
Oh, really? How are you on here? Hotspotting it?
Yeah.
Holy shit! It's fucking good hotspot.
Yeah, and I have Starlink too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, yeah, that helps.
Yeah,
that definitely helps.
So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see if I do the Whatnot show. Other than that, man, it's just been fucking. I'm ready. So I got to work Monday, but my work Monday is actually getting the boat ready because no one's going to be there.
Yes.
So yeah. So that's fucking ice. Yeah, dude. Fucking ice came out and just clipped my fucking
fucking jerks.
Fucking jerks.
Fucking jerks, dude. Yeah, dude. So I'm gonna fucking go. Oh, I don't know if I told you this.
I don't know.
Did I tell you what I've been stressed out all winter about with the Icon with my boat?
No.
I can't remember if after my last trip I took the trash out.
That might be fucking gross.
That might be fucking gross.
That might be fucking real gross. Because, yeah, you store it and it's temperature controlled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like it froze and mold and shit didn't go. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I still have yet to take the time. Like, dude, like as soon as I picked it up, I remembered. And I was like, fuck. So Monday, I'm going to have to deal with that.
I got you beat, though. As far as that being gross, yeah.
I have bong water in my boat.
Gross.
Yeah, my fucking chilled steel pipes. I never dumped it when it was in there, and it's all fucking sealed up. And like, there's only so much water. It definitely froze multiple times. Cappuccino machine still there. You know, I could get into that.
I could too.
Fucking, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even if I had to be a degenerate with like a Keurig, I could do that on a boat.
I can't wait to get Shan in it, and I'm just gonna hit the heated seat button. He's gonna be like, ooh.
That's nice. It is gonna be foul, Shan. You're not wrong. And then I gotta clean that fucker. How many fucking people keep a bong in their boat? Bong water and dude wipes from last year? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's a whole thing.
Used dude wipes.
Oh, no. Those get buried. Yeah. They don't come back. They don't come back.
Dude, since we're going down there, and we're already going down this road here on Jigs and Bigs today. When one of my kids was a toddler.
Oh, no.
Okay. One of the twins. I'm not going to say which one because I don't want them to be embarrassed. Not that they listen to this.
Sure.
For a while, they couldn't grasp the concept of when you use toilet paper, it then goes in the toilet. Instead, they use the toilet paper and then put it in the trash.
Fucking no. Seriously?
I mean, they were very, very young, you know, but I'd be like, no. Like, duh.
You used was applied. Oh, God.
So yeah, fucking kids, man. And then, dude, I'm going to tell you, I have no affiliation with these people or anything.
Yep.
Have you ever heard of this company?
I was looking at the logo. What is it? Southern what?
Southern String Hat Company. Dude, it's a fucking, they send like nice hats to me once a month. It's a fucking hat subscription.
Oh, really?
Dude, I love it. I have not gotten one hat I don't like yet. And I'm on like my 4th or 5th.
No shit.
Yeah, dude. And they always send like extra shit. Like they sent me a fucking like camo razor too, and like sticker. Well, for the Christmas one, they sent me like a sick hat like this and a fucking Santa hat, like also in the same camo version that they did that. Yeah, it was cool, man.
No shit.
Yeah.
I always look at that and like I've considered the idea of like branching out like with like I forget a couple of different companies out there that do custom hats for like jigs and big stuff, and I'm like, there is one hat I want to do so badly for the show, but I've looked into it and it's so expensive. There's a hat that I have from It's a brewery. I forget what it is, but it's nylon. It's like a nylon flat bill rope hat, and it's got a sweat visor on the interior. It is the most comfortable, easy to wash and care for hat that I have.
I think those are the ones that I've seen you wear that. Taylor has a few of those.
Yep. And I'm like, I can't find, and the thing is it's like a rubber, almost like what do you call it? Like a morale patch, a rubber patch on the front. And that's the other thing I'd like to do for Jigs and Bigs too, is do some patches like that. Cause people have like, they're putting Velcro stuff on everything. So you could just put wherever you want. I'm like, that would be amazing. You know?
Dude, it's funny that sticker that design that me, you, and Bill were in the like Godzilla fish one.
Yep,
dude, I put that on a t-shirt. It was like $35 a shirt because of all the colors.
Oh, 100%, absolutely.
So I think it might just be a sticker, Bobby.
That's not a bad idea. Actually, we have a Jigs and Bigs sticker that's going to be dropped that has kind of like a jam bandy kind of vibe, and I actually just want to do it as like an extra large sticker for your cooler.
Ooh,
you know, that'd just be awesome. Just like bam. And it's like, it's pretty slick. It's a good design.
Yep.
Man, that's freaking awesome. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that things are going well with the site. You know, the feedback seems to be really good. Yep. I posted my unboxing video, and the video itself is doing great, but I've been seeing a lot of other unboxings as well. And I think that that's super cool because like, you get 5-6 months in, and you might see like these new customers unboxing stuff on their socials, and it could, I mean, who knows where the hell this is going to turn, you know? It's so cool. Yeah. So cool.
There's one thing that you noticed, Bobby, that I was like, hell yeah.
Yep.
One thing I've noticed about a lot of vendors in the fishing world is they don't give a fuck about packing.
Yes.
And your shit's just like rattling around.
Oh, yeah.
One thing I am very, very particular about with AVF is I promise you your shit will be packed perfectly.
He's going to pack your shit so well.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God damn it. I walked right into that one. Okay, your gear will be packed tremendously well. It will be safe, it's secure, and I take pride in packing your gear. With dildos.
Speaking of dildos, it wasn't a dildo that you sent me. This is
even better.
This is actually a piece of candy. It says milk chocolate, but when you look at the ingredients, I don't know if this is like covered in like an M&M shell. You know who it was? It was Biohazard Bass and said it's very vascular.
Vascular.
And then I think I DM'd him back and I was like, I hope this isn't like a life-size cast. God.
I fucking wish.
Right? Come on.
So does it Meg?
Yeah.
So the story behind that thing, right?
Yep.
Is I got home from work one day, right? And I have my cooler that I bring my lunch in.
Yep.
And I'm like talking to Meg in the kitchen, and I open it, and it's fucking in there. One of my guys from work snuck it into my work bag, into my lunch bag.
Fucking hey, that's
so I was like,
genius.
I got to return the favor to somebody, and then the light bulb went off. I was like, ooh, Bobby just so happens to be the first ever customer of avftackle.com. So he's getting, but you would have got it even if you were like the 13th customer.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. I don't know, man. I told Holly about it and I was like, you got to see what the hell, what the hell Joe put in this. And she's like, what the fuck? Who are these people? Need an unwrapping video with only fins. Nobody wants to see that.
Oh shit. That's right. I put a, so Jeremiah has like two like high end, like 3D printers. Oh, so yeah. I had him. Yeah. So they're sick, dude. But I had him fucking print out a hand going like this, and I put that in Shan's box one time.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is fan-freaking-tastic, man.
Yep. So all my I plan on like now I plan on all my friends and everything I see orders gonna get a little something extra in the box.
Javi says something. He says, Bobby, eat it on the live. Here's the thing.
I don't even know how old that thing is, Bobby. That thing could, dude. Shan can probably attest to this. There's something about a military unit, especially like a combat military unit. There's always dicks around.
This is like 1,200 calories.
There's always fucking fake dicks, or obviously, there's always like candy dicks. Candy dicks, fucking plastic dicks. There's always dicks.
Well, we'll get to this. I had some conversations this week that were crazy. Like, and actually, you commented on one of the DMs, and you're like, "You realize I can read this, right?" Oh, yeah. I'm going to share this shit because, like, I'm an old stoner and I'm going to forget anyway. And I'd like the comedic element of it at the very least. But I had a conversation late last night. I was deep in the land of the edibles, just about to go to bed. And I'm talking with Dave, Wolf of Walmart, and we're going back and forth. And he was like, "Oh, you gotta get him back." He suggested a couple of ideas. And I was like, "Oh, dude, I'm going hard." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little I'm going to reach out to somebody who makes plastics in our little circle of friends. And we got a lot of them. And we're going to make a Senko, one of the most popular ones, but it is going to be a double-headed dong, like a 6-inch Senko, like with graphic detail. I'm like, I will pay for the mold and I will put the man hours in to make it. And Jigs and Bigs will make it the
hottest selling bait of 2026.
And
we'll enter it into iCast. The best of show.
Wait, hold on a second. I have some of the names because that's where I was off the rails with Dave. Where is he?
That motherfucker working behind my back. I thought you were a neutral party. I thought you were a neutral party, Dave.
One of my favorites. He goes. We could call it the Jiggly Joe, Joe's Juice, the Old Glory Gagger, the Old Glory Glizzy. He says,
"Oh man,
Brown's Banana, or even better, Brown's Battle Banana." And then we started talking about swim baits and like trick shads and all kinds of shit and everything.
Oh, so you went to the normal comment.
We totally did. Yeah, it was
just
very
had to get that out of your system.
It was very short-lived. And it was just, Bert says, I could send you the mold. It'll be great for BFS, right? Yeah. Why not? Finesse, Wacky Willie. I mean, that's good, but we got to incorporate somehow Joe or something related. I thought about who the fuck is this Wacky Worm or something like that. Who the fuck Wacky?
It's kind of funny you mentioned that because like that was also mentioned in our off the rails fucking group chat with Wild Bill.
Yes,
I think yesterday.
That's true too. That was nuts. It's been a good on the phone front. It's been really, really entertaining. A couple of really good conversations this week with some folks. It was pretty good. How the fuck did this get brown? Jay! Yes, Jay! Yes, dude! Who the fuck is Joe Brown Eye? Oh my god! Oh
my gosh! You motherfuckers,
dude. This is why it pays to be a jighead because you get involved with this stuff. Oh my god! No, this week was crazy. I started my week with my order, right, which was awesome, and I ordered a couple of pretty solid items. And it's funny, we talked about it in last week's episode, but I think it was Alec Plotnikevich and a couple other people reached out and they're like,
"Bro, you're gonna love that Defiant fluorocarbon."
And now I'm really stoked to tie it on and see what that's all about. So when I re-spool one of my combos specifically, I'm gonna use that for like a little bit heavier line, and that's gonna be the rod that I dedicate to like more of like the medium size glides like this. And I think that'll actually work out really good because I don't think on those I really need to throw 20. I think that might be overkill.
No, I think
You know?
17 you'll be fine, or
Yeah.
15 or whatever. But cool thing about actually Defiant's been pretty popular too. The line. You know what else is cool is fucking. Well, that shit's made in Japan, dog, and then shipped over.
Defiant stuff is?
Yep.
Really?
Not made in China, made in Japan. It might as well. That is a JDM line just from a domestic company.
Just from a domestic. No shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
John Hagen says he had just tuned in time for the unidentified brown eyes.
Oh man,
My
you
God.
missed it, John.
It was something. I'm telling you, this episode is fire. But no, this week was really good. So the box arrived, midweek. I did the unboxing. It was awesome. Had a really good laugh about the candy dick. That was hilarious. I got to tell you, I'm dying to put this Tatula on the raw. I need to do my unboxing video, but I'm waiting on something else to arrive for those new rods before I even unbox them. I'm actually, you know what it is? I ordered the FX rod sleeves that I like. Mm-hmm. And I just want to, when I put everything together, I want to be able to pop the sleeves on, pop them right in the truck where they go. I have to take rods out of the truck to make room for all this. Like I'm taking the carp rig out and I'm taking out all those like oddball things that I only use like for really specific shit. And that's going to probably live in my storage unit until the next time I'm using it. And then, so I recorded the video. I popped that up on YouTube and it's been doing really well. Like the feedback was good. And if you guys like unboxing type stuff, I will fucking buy more shit and just do them. And it was actually worked out really good. This new like production setup that I'm using in my basement is pretty badass. This week I did something I've been meaning to do all winter, but after that first like heavy snow, there was just no way. So have you, Joe, ever seen the way I store my swim baits, my big swim baits?
Yes, but I'm going to say no for sake of the conversation, Bobby.
There you go. So I use this Apache box, right? It's watertight and super secure. And I use this because like I would put it like in the back of my kayak and like use the tie downs to like hold it in place and everything. And the thing is awesome. It has been through hell with me. It's been all over the place. And when I think the last handful of spots, like I didn't really throw a lot of big swim baits last year. So I didn't leave it in the boat. Also, that is very like high value shit and I don't want it disappearing. Cause like that's the box that I would, when I buy those throwbacks that are like $190 a piece, like that's what this is going to be. So I'm like, all right, let's, be smart. And I had it like with some, other outdoor gear in like my backyard and it was buried in the snow. And I was like, this melt is going on. I'm going to go grab that sucker. So I went through and I'm just getting some stuff organized and everything. I'm actually going to do a little bit of a divide and take out the smaller swim baits in about like this size. And, in that more like small to medium, like the S-Waver 168 doesn't need to be in there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. And I'm going to, kind of organize that a little bit. So as I was going through with that, I'm glad I finally got that thing handled anyway. And then I also started organizing some of my own tackle. And to be completely upfront with you guys, my headaches this week in doing so inspired the list of tips that we're going to go through in just the tip, because I was absolutely spinning out. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is crazy. Because I've got tackle everywhere. I've got this backpack that I've been using, and that's where a good chunk of stuff is, but it was organized like shit. Like I had all my jerks, basically every single hard bait that wasn't topwater in this one box, and it was like that fever dream where like you grab one and like 13 lures come out and you're like, God damn, you got to shake the shit out of them, and it was just a pain in the ass. So I came up with some tips that I think would be worth trying out. And I'm trying to sort of get some of that stuff together. In fact, I have a picture of one of my, one of my Evolution boxes, that ballistic 3700. And I filled, you can see this is the crank box. The bottom row, I filled that row with cranks. I'm missing one right there. But like I've got some really big ones that don't fit. And I like these Evolution boxes. I really do. You notice in this top corner here, I've got the dividers like really close together. I've got those like that. Those are blade baits.
Interesting.
Dink, 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 holds them nice. They don't get all crazy. I'm like, okay, this will be good. So I'm trying to, put a few things together like that. I really like the boxes. I should mention it's not going to help really anybody except for the jig heads who are here. If you want to try out the Evolution stuff, and I say stuff because it's more than just those Evolution, the ballistics boxes. Dark Horse Tackle is a retailer for Evolution, like the whole line. So we're talking about like bags, lure wraps, all kinds of different accessories. And I mean, the stuff it's priced really well. And if the ballistic boxes are anything, and actually they do have boxes that are even more economically, reasonable than that. But the ballistic boxes are built really tough. And if that's any type of an example of what they offer, like check it out. So go check out Dark Horse Tackle. I believe it's 10% off, and I think it ends tonight. So if you're a jig head who's in here and you want to check out some of that stuff, go over to Dark Horse Tackle and take a little peruse at what they've got, because there's some really, really good stuff.
Dark Horse stepping up their game, my man.
They are 100%, man, 100%. And then there was this was actually pretty interesting. Like we were talking about conversations via text and everything, and I want to reference. I played something at the beginning of the show, and that's the Canadian koala. And he was like, stop stalking invasive fish, pinch your barbs, go fuck your mother, the whole thing, right? That was he and I went back, I think it was Monday night, like right after. I will say this, I am fairly certain the Canadian koala is the first person that listens to every single episode of the show. I feel confident about that, because I will get comments on Spotify or a text to the hotline or an Instagram comment about the show that just dropped, usually within a 90-minute window of when the show drops. And he'll like let it rip right from the get-go, like a Spotify comment, like in the intro, like as he's listening to it. So we had a very spirited conversation about that situation last week regarding that record New Jersey muskie. He was floored that we were siding with the angler, that New Jersey should allow it. He was like, that's crazy. He's like, and he was very, very, very I don't want to say stubborn, but very, very secure in his opinion with that, as I was too. I was like, dude, I'm telling you, like, I would feel differently if there was the possibility that New York was responsible for that fish being there, and they're not. I was like, so we had a pretty significant difference of opinion, but I was also ripped completely off my fucking ass. And he was, I think he was working. There was a point where he was like, I'm going to drive this fucking truck off the road. Some shit like that. I was like, don't do that, man. It's fine. But like, I bring this up because we had a significant difference of opinion. And God, wouldn't it be so nice if people could fucking do that these days and still be fucking friends afterwards and not be pieces of shit about it?
Yep.
I'm telling you, and I said to him, because again, I was fucking face melted at this point, and I was like, Nick, I even busted his chops. I was like, do me a favor. Why don't you put this conversation, instead of the hotline texts, move it over to Spotify where you can help fucking push the podcast? And he was like,
it'll only let me put one.
One per episode. I was like, oh, okay. All right. So then he goes, he did put one over there. So if you go to last week's episode and check it, he'll be like, oh yeah, but that went from there to Instagram to text, all back and forth. And he left that message. I was like, I'm playing that at the beginning of the show, 100%. And like, he gets it. You know what I mean? He gets it. He's, yep. I respect his opinion, and I do. I'm like, I just see it differently. And that's totally okay, and I'm like, yep, two people with differing opinions, boom,
yep,
basically Canadian. Yeah, that's accurate, Bert. That is 100% accurate. Basically Canadian. Yeah, what else I have going on this week? There was quite a bit. I mentioned the new shirt design selling. People are digging that. And then today, this was just today, man. I ran my errands, first thing this morning. I got to tell you, before I get to this, I fucking love my Thursday night trivia nights. I fucking love them because I'm home a little bit earlier because it's so close to where I live, and it's a 6 to 8 game instead of a 7 to 9. So I get a little bit more evening. It's nice. But the thing is that's the kickoff. When I have a Friday off, that's like my Friday night. You know what I mean? It's a good feeling, and I haven't had like something like that where it wasn't, because I used to work all the way up until Saturday, and if I had an event on Saturday, I just never stopped working.
Yep.
But so I was just chilling, running my errands and stuff. I'm having my coffee. I'm sitting usually what happens is after I get back from dropping off my daughter, and sometimes I'll go live on Instagram or something on the drive back, but I usually end up sitting in my truck for like about 15 minutes and doing all the social stuff that I need to do. So like promoting that night, that week's trivia stuff, whatever's going on that day, dropping a post, and I don't know why. I guess I'm just too lazy to get out of the car. And I'm sitting there, and the fucking mailman comes walking up the stairs, right? And he's looking at me, and I'm like, oh, shit. I look over, and he's like, yeah. He's like, you here? And I was like, yeah. He starts walking over to me, and he hands me this package. This was a package that came from our guests in this week's show. Matt had messaged me probably about a week or two ago. Yeah, something like that. And he was like, hey, man, I want to send you something just because I know you'll dig it and I appreciate what you do. And I was like, dude, you don't have to do that, but I appreciate it. That's awesome. So this showed up today, and what it is he knows I'm making an effort into glides, and he sent me a glide bait from Dropout Supply. And this is a gill style glide bait, but he chose this one because the color, and the jig heads can see it right now. It's called Beef, which I think is fucking awesome. Looks to be pretty premium. Like it's got the swiveling mounts for the hooks. It's actually pretty sweet because you can pull this pin and swap out the back end if you wanted, or I guess maybe if you wanted to modify it a little bit, you could do that. It's got an alternate tail that it comes with. It also has some rattles and things, and a cap that you can put in here if you want to. And it even comes with a clip for where the line tie is, which I'm like, dude, that's fucking pretty badass. This is awesome, and this is actually going to be an ideal size to throw around. So thank you to Matt and James from Small Ponds Big Dreams podcast. You're going to hear them in the beef seat though, because I'm recording with them tomorrow night. That's going to be part of this episode. So those are dudes that are from Ohio. I got a chance to meet them at the Columbus Expo. Great guys, fun show. Make sure to check their stuff out. Follow them on all the socials and everything. And then what else do we got? I think there was one other thing I had to go over. Talked about this is the big one, dude. So I got to give a shout out to John Hagens on this one, because last week's recording we were talking about I was talking about like not really like having like a trip on the board, for the calendar to look forward to this year. And I had this thing. You remember, Joe? I was talking about how my wife and her girl math brought her to the conclusion that it would probably be better to spend a few grand to avoid losing $800 on airfare.
Yeah, it's girl math.
So she initially we were talking about going to Florida, and I was like, I'll go to Florida. That's fine. She wanted to go to St. Augustine. So yeah, that sounds good. Well, her plans changed, and she decided she wants to stay in Charlotte, South Carolina. I'm like, okay. All right, that's cool. What do we got? And I was looking around at places to fish, and it never even dawned on me. But John Hagens had mentioned, he was like, dude, Santee Cooper's like right there. And it is. It's like an hour to an hour and a half away, depending on where you want to go. And it's game on, because this week I have been looking up as many details as I could about Santee Cooper. Specifically, I'm thinking I'm probably going to focus on Lake Marion, because Lake Marion, I guess, has significantly more cypress trees. And it's just always kind of been a thing where I'm like, I need to flip a jig into cypress trees. And I think that might be a good time of year to do it, because they'll be pretty shallow.
I've never been able to do that. That's awesome, dude.
I love the style of fishing, man. I think it'll be badass.
I didn't really talk about it, but I don't know how, because number one, Bobby, we got to figure out what the fuck we're going to do about recording next week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And two, dude, I'm going down to the Classic. I need to be more excited about that.
That's pretty fucking badass. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned the Classic, because I think I tagged you in this comment. There's this account, high class Bassmaster memes.
Yep.
And they put up a sticker And it's an Uncle Randy sticker. And I was like, and they're like, oh, so we're going to have some of these at the Classic. Dude, if you see them, you have to get it. So I was they're like, who? We should pick somebody. I was like, oh, it's got to be Who the Fuck is Joe Brown? Yeah.
So, dude, I'm excited for the expo. I'm excited to be out on the water with these guys.
Right.
Staying away and not fucking with their fishing, obviously. But I'm obviously going to fish also because I've never fished the Tennessee River. Been doing a lot of research. Probably start trying for smallies. And as it warms up, I was talking to Shan about it. We're going to go up shallow and try to get some big mouths too, So
are you filming while you're going? Fucking A, yes.
Yep. Yes. YouTube's coming back. It'll be, a long form. It'll be like a long form video, I'm sure.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, so that's all ready. So like I said, the Jesus Christ, I just started stuttering right there too. The intention is for like Shan and I to do a video together on how we match up towards, because we're gonna go out fishing and we're gonna catch our fish and weigh them, throw them back and see how we do in comparison to the
pros. Elites. That's awesome though.
So yeah, dude, I'm fucking pumped, dude. I like this is kind of like a dream come true, as like gay and like as gay as that sounds. But dude, I'm pumped to go there. I don't know if I told you this. The Airbnb, I may have mentioned this to you. So the Airbnb we have is like two houses. It's like the main house and like the bungalow house, which we got the bungalow because it's smaller, but it's the only fucking place that was left I could find that I could get my boat in there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I could park my boat because like it's in Knoxville, dude. So it's not like it's like trying to park your boat in Springfield. You know what I mean? Like on the streets of Springfield.
Yep. Okay.
So it's a little, but so apparently what's wicked funny is the host thinks I'm fishing in the Bassmaster Classic.
Oh, really? It's awesome.
And she goes, and she goes, oh, the person in the other house on the because like the bungalow and the house share like the outdoor stuff, like the hot tub and the outdoor space. And she's like, oh, one of the other competitors is in the main house. So I don't know who it is, but we'll see.
So you can rub some elbows, maybe throw an interview together.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to.
That would be pretty badass, dude. If you came home with an interview for that, that'd be great. Yeah. Oh.
Yep. Oh yeah, dude, I'm pumped.
That's fucking awesome, dude. That's a good, and that'll be your first splash of the boat at 26, right?
It will.
What a splash! Yep. What a splash! That's awesome.
What a splash!
Oh man, yes.
Yep. And Meg gets to have Meg and Emma get to have their first boat road trip.
That's pretty badass, man. I'm telling you, I kind of like that shit. Oh, today, another thing that just happened today, while we're talking road trips, a video came across my my recommended list, and it was the strangest shit. It was like, will this beat a Sprinter van or some shit like that, or was this the Sprinter van or a church van? And it was this dude that bought like one of these 15 passenger vans. Mm-hmm. Did you know that they can tow 10,000 pounds? I had no idea.
I actually did. And here's it, not the newer ones. I didn't know the newer ones, but I remember like
back in the day.
I just remember as a kid, my dad always being a plumber, he would buy like certain versions of the E150 or E250, their vans, because of the towing capacity for one of the machines that he had. Yep.
I was watching this, and the guy's like, I am converting this into like essentially like a van life, like quasi overlander, like whatever. I'm like, that is badass. Like that is truly badass. Yep. And when he mentioned the towing, I was like, so I sent the video to my wife, and I was like, hey, I know you're interested in the idea of getting some kind of a camper, but I was like, what if we made this a little project? And you and I, we convert this thing so that it's livable. And then if you want to actually get we could tow all kinds of shit. We could tow the boat with ease, Yep. I'm like, I don't know. Again, I'm thinking on my ass, but
it's funny because I don't know if I told you this. Meg's trying to talk me into getting into pulling the boat with her vehicle down to the classic.
Down to the classic.
And I'm sure it could.
Yeah,
I know it could. I know it's rated for it.
Yeah.
But I've never towed with it before.
Will it like it? I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, it's like, dude, all I can think of is I'm gonna be on the highway and like, they're gonna be going like this. So.
I think that'll be okay. I think it's just gonna be like any big elevation, like more like the braking and that shit. Might
which we will be going. I mean, we have to go through the.
You're probably going through West Virginia.
Yep. We're going through Appalachia. You know,
and yeah, that's tough. Like even my boat, my truck only loves it so much. Like we get out to like past Albany, and it's like nothing. But,
it's funny because she's like, oh, it's just like your truck's riding like a freight train, and I'm like, you know what, babe, I take that as a compliment.
You know what you got to do? You got to get her a few of these.
That's true. I cannot fucking wait to be able to drink those.
Right? I should mention. What are you drinking? Somebody asked if you were drinking Buffalo. What are you drinking right now?
No. So, I'm all out.
Yep.
I'm all out.
That's right.
I got dude, I'm like out of all of my whiskey and bourbon. Like,
really?
All I have is like
winter's coming
stuff left.
Yeah.
I know.
Fucking old granddad.
So I am drinking cream soda and vanilla vodka right now.
Nothing wrong with that. That pairs very well together.
It's great. Dude, so the last show, I had the empty fucking Buffalo Trace bottle, and I was going to put this thing. I was moving it back over, and as I was doing it, like, you know, because I was half in the bag, I hit the fucking bottle, dude. I hit the bottle, and then. So it would have shaken. This is a concrete floor, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And I fucking caught it with my feet, dude.
You caught
it with my feet. Like this.
That's impressive. I thought you were going to be like, oh, yeah, that last bit of whiskey was drunk up by the concrete. Shit.
Nope.
That's a good save.
Caught it with my feet.
That's pretty badass. That is pretty badass. Where was I? I was going somewhere.
Oh, look at this. Jigheads are placing orders as we do the podcast.
Oh, they are? Is that the Binya order?
Yep, Binya, and I think it looks there's a couple other people like actively in there right now. I can't see who it is, but
yeah, that's awesome, man. I love that. You guys are showing some support. I'm all about that shit. Oh no, I was talking about what I'm drinking. So this is, I'm a big cannabis guy. I love the fish whistle. I really do. And I've tried some of these like cannabis seltzers and sodas in the past. And I was like, we'll try. But, you know, something tonight was like, you know, I think I'm going to grab a couple. So I tried this brand I hadn't had before. It's called Buzzy Seltzer. And this is, it's Tropical Kush. And it's only 5 milligrams per can, but this is 1-to-1. So it's 5 milligrams THC, 5 milligrams CBD. And I'll tell you what, I had one earlier to test the waters. I'm glad I only had one earlier because I got a bunch more upstairs. But yeah, I could probably drink like a few of these and feel fantastic. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Dude, before we wrap this up, I want to go show you something real quick. That Binya bought. I meant to take a picture of it and show it to you. I want to show it here live.
Okay.
It's all right. Hold on.
All right.
Give me a second. I'll let you talk to the folks.
So John Carter says, "How's the aftertaste, Bobby?" There's none. There's none at all. Javi's in there. He says he's in at avvtackle.com right now. Oh, beautiful, dude. No good deals on whatnot. Friggin' whatnot. I'm telling you, man. That is a slippery slope. I am so glad I never put my credit card info into that app because it could be so dangerous. He's going to pack my order. That's what he's going to do. Nice. What did you get, Binya? Well, he's going to end up going through the whole list right here, I'm sure. But this is badass. I love that there is a like tackle retailer with such like a it's a JDM tackle retailer that's this close to the show because this is something I've always wanted to mess with.
So
like this.
When you're up on the St. Lawrence,
did
you catch any of the perch up there?
I didn't catch any perch at all for the trip. No. It was all, what was it all? It was all pike, pickerel and walleye when we were on. Oh, and no, there was one smallmouth that Binny caught the first day.
So I'm going to keep this. Ben, you're not going to get this one because the package is ripped a little bit. But look at the colors on this perch. I wish it doesn't show up as good in the camera, but this looks
I'm gonna make it full screen right there. Is that?
I wish that the colors were better. Like the colors on this thing are insane. I sent Benny a photo.
The orange fins are just delicious.
So this is exactly what the perch look like up on the St. Lawrence River.
Really?
So this is that capsize. This is the one that is essentially better than the fucking
the mag draft.
The mag draft, because you can burn it and it comes with a little like feather on the hook, which is awesome.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's what Binya just. Oh, this is a 7.5. He ordered the 6. So yeah, so dude, they're sick, dude. They're awesome.
That's really sick. I love a perch pattern, man. And that's a badass perch pattern right there. Bobby, I sent you the photo via text. Nice. To the whole order. Yes, he did. I love this shit. Oh yeah, dude, that is awesome.
Yeah, that shows the color way better.
Yeah,
than this camera.
It does. It looks fantastic, dude. It's super realistic. There is another who is it that makes a Storm? Storm makes the Largo shads and these finishes that look like almost like they're printed onto the plastic themselves. Yeah. Very, very cool.
Yep.
Oh man, fucking badass, dude. Badass.
Hell yeah.
Do we have a headline for this wonderful program?
Oh yeah, about that. Yeah, we do.
All right, let's go ahead and fire it up.
All right, Bobby. So let's go to New York, USA, Lake Erie. That's where we're going for this story because stranded ice fishermen rescued a mile offshore after ice sheet splits from mainland. So when the weather is warmer like this and it's been raining, even if the ice is thick, there's always that risk factor.
Oh, yeah.
Search and rescue officials in New York rescued 2 ice fishermen on Lake Erie Sunday night. The 2 fishermen had gotten stranded after the ice sheet they were on broke off and separated, leaving them a mile offshore with no way to return to land. The joint operation involved the Erie County Sheriff's Office and the United States Coast Guard, which received the initial call about the stranded fishermen around 6:30 p.m. Sunday. The U.S. Coast Guard then called the Sheriff's Office for assistance, according to the ECSO Public Information Officer, Chris Harvadis. The Sheriff's Office contacted Captain Ryan Rogers, a helicopter pilot and the ECSO's Captain of Aviation, who responded to the hangar at Buffalo Niagara International Airport. Captain Rogers was joined there by Lieutenant Rich O'Neill, and a tactical flight officer, and Lieutenant Chris Schreiber, a search and rescue technician. They were able to get up into the air a little more than an hour after the initial report came in. After taking off at 8:06 p.m., the helicopter crew flew over Lake Erie, where they quickly located the stranded ice fishermen at approximately 8:20 p.m. Harvada says they were able to spot the anglers using infrared technology. By that point, the U.S. Coast Guard's ice rescue team was already making their way toward the location on foot. The team had brought along a small rescue skiff that they were able to pull over the ice. So we kind of converged on there, Havada says, the ice rescue team from the ground and us from the air. As video footage from the rescue shows, the U.S. Coast Guard team was able to launch their skiff and cross the section of open water to where the stranded fishermen were trapped. They loaded up one of the fishermen along with all their gear while the helicopter crew moved in to rescue the other fishermen. Captain Rogers was able to lower the helicopter within 3 feet of the ice, where Lieutenant Schreiber disembarked and helped the other angler into the chopper. From there, they flew to a marina to meet the U.S. Coast Guard team along with first responders from Everest Fire Department. And that's pretty much it.
That's nuts. I think somebody had sent some content about this to me, and I was like, dude, those big bodies of water, because that's way more common on those large bodies of water. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's bananas, dude.
Yep.
That is bananas.
Yep. No bueno. No bueno.
John Carter says, does your BCBS cover the rescue? I wonder if they require a copay.
Ugh.
We got a visual.
Oh, hold on. I got it going right here. But yeah, I'll share this so you guys can kind of see it live here.
Got to pay attention to the wind. Hell yeah, dude. And I've seen those stories come up before where people have talked about it.
Yep. So here's just a quick little.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they're just floating out there. You got the Coast Guard guy taking pictures because that's what us military people do. Every time we're in a cool situation, we take pictures and put it on Facebook.
357 is good.
And yeah, I mean, look at that, dude. I mean, that ice obviously is not thin. You know what I mean?
No, that's significant. Yeah, exactly. Like it's not. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, yeah. So
eerie, fucking eerie.
It's you know, is sad. I mean, sad for some people, not me and not Bobby, but
no.
That time of year is it's over. It's over. It's time for that shit to melt and time to get the fucking skiffs in the water.
John Carter goes, the question is, they continue to fish while waiting. I'll bet you they did.
Dude, depending on how fast it was going, they could have like tied on a fucking swim bait or something.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's freaking bananas, man. Man, that is fucking crazy. I can't even imagine that, dudes. I can't even imagine that. So why don't we do this, guys? We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back right around. We got Just the Tip coming up. You're not going to want to miss it because this week, what we're talking about here is ways that you can keep from losing your mind when it comes to organizing your gear. You know, a couple of tips. Some of these don't even necessarily go together. You can piece these together however you want. And then, as always, if you have something to say and you're listening to the show, like especially on Spotify, leave a comment. We love to hear about this stuff, or get in touch with the with the hotline because it's always good stuff. Guys, we'll see you in a bit. Don't go too far. More Jigs and Bigs coming up right after this.
And perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels. Or ouch, ouch, you're on my hair.
Okay.
I know. Just the tip. We're recording this in a weird sequence, but the jig heads are here and I'm loving it. Listen, guys, for this week's Just the Tip, we are not actually talking about catching fish. We're talking about keeping your sanity. And it's important these days because 2026 has been rough and interesting and bizarre and a fucking fantasy world. But because every angler is eventually going to reach that point where the tackle situation gets just completely out of control. You know, you got soft plastics that are in grocery bags, crankbaits that are in 3 different boxes. You got hooks floating around loose, and you spend more time looking for a bait than you do actually fishing. So here, I put together a few tips to keep your tackle organized without turning into like a second full-time job. Now, this first tip I thought was really cool, and it's not necessarily for everybody, but I'm considering using this maybe even part-time. And it's organizing a box by technique, not by the bait type. So like most anglers, when they organize different tackle boxes, they do them in categories like, these are my crankbaits, these are my soft plastics, these are jigs, we got terminal tackle here. But when you're out there actually fishing, the way your brain is working is more like, I'm finesse fishing. I'm fishing moving baits. I'm fishing bottom contact. I'm fishing top water. So instead, if you build your boxes based on technique or situation, you know, like you have a finesse box that's got drop shots and net heads and small plastics maybe. You've got a box for reaction stuff. So crankbaits and bladed jigs and spinner baits. Your bottom contact stuff, you're talking your jigs, your Texas rigs, your creature baits. And then when the conditions change, all you need to do is just grab one box instead of digging through 5 different ones to get your stuff together. I don't know, just something worth, looking into anyway. Now, the boat rule. This is the next one. Here's a rule that will absolutely save your sanity. And not everything needs to be on the boat or with you. What you can do is just keep a core rotation of baits in your boat or your backpack or your yak pack, whatever it is, and start thinking of it as a lineup. You know, everything else will live in storage, either at home or in the truck or whatever it is, depending on the season. And then instead of hauling out like 40 pounds of gear one time, you're just kind of like cycling through the stuff. The next tip is standardizing your boxes. One of the biggest mistakes that anglers make is having 10 different brands and sizes of tackle boxes. Different shaped ones, different latch systems. Nothing is going to like stack just right. The best thing to do is pick one or two box styles and standardize them. So like a Plano 3700 style box, they're really popular because they stack really easily. They fit in most boat compartments with ease, and they make it easy to swap setups real quickly. Your future self will thank you for this. Next tip is one that I specifically need to put into practice, and that's label everything. And it sounds really obvious, but most of us don't do it. Grab a label maker, or if you don't have that, just grab a Sharpie and a roll of masking tape, and just, label those boxes, what's in there. Jerk baits, finesse jigs, terminal heavy, terminal finesse. When you're in the middle of a hot bite, the last thing that you want to do is have to rifle through 5 boxes looking for one hook. And I don't know about you guys, but some of those boxes out there are very difficult to see into, sometimes intentionally. And having that information right there lets you just 86 a box immediately and say, I don't need these jerk baits right now. It just helps. And then this one is one that is for sure, this is a big one that I'm going to be doing, is a 1 month reset. So instead of letting the chaos build up all season, schedule a monthly tackle reset. All it takes is like 20 to 30 minutes. No big deal. And during that reset, what you can do is put baits back where they belong, refill your terminal tackle, toss out anything that's been like destroyed, torn plastics or anything. And you're like, I'm going to hang on to this. Why? Maybe you're recycling those plastics and you're using them. That's great, but put them in a spot. Get them out of the way. If you do it once a month, what you're avoiding is that massive winter project that weighs on you until you're like, oh, we're going to be fishing in a couple of weeks. I have to hustle.
That's exactly where I am right now.
So you can do it and you beat it before everything's a disaster. We got the last tip right here. This is the 6th one. Accept the fact that it's never going to be perfect. And here's the real truth. Tackle organization isn't ever actually finished. You're going to end up buying new stuff. You're going to end up trying a new technique or whatever, or you're going to find a new obsession with like glide baits or with jerk baits or whatever it might be that season. Your system should definitely be flexible for this and not necessarily set in stone. And this type of behavior messes it all up. The goal isn't necessarily perfection. The goal is being able to find what you need without absolutely going bonkers. And that's this week's Just the Tip. A little organization now means more time fishing and less time digging through piles of tackle like a rabid raccoon in heat rifling around a Denny's dumpster. And if you're anything like us, the system will last you at least 2 trips before it falls apart all over again. It's a reality. So, jig heads... I'm seeing some comments right now. Sanity, what's that? John Hagan says. And then Todd Fishing in the 6 says, thanks for reminding me. My shit's a mess right now. Controlled chaos is what John Carter throws in. It is crazy. Like I've done this year after year after year. And actually last year was the worst year for me. And it was the 2nd year with my boat. It was the worst year because I had I got spoiled with all this room. I went from being on my kayak every single trip and having to really kind of dominate stuff. But I transitioned into the boat with this same kind of idea. I put every single box. I wasn't storing any more gear in the car. I had a backpack full of gear that was the stuff. My first, I was like in phases. If I that was generally all of the I guess the inventory or the arsenal that I would have. All of it was in that backpack. And then I had a separate bag that was for finesse stuff because that's what I use on the bank as well. So that bag goes back and forth all the time. And then on the storage in the boat, I would have various other 3,700 boxes that would have overstock of specific stuff. And very rarely might I be Yeah, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, I don't throw a lot of like white a lot of the time. I do now more than I ever did. But like for years, it was like, for me, everything was like natural. Green pumpkin, like gold, maybe a little bit of silver here and there, but like shad patterns and stuff like that. And like white wasn't really something I, would go to. So a lot of that stuff that I have that I would just acquire would sit in these boxes, and I'd have to run back and go get it in between. So I might be looking for something and say, boom, I know where this is. And I would have that box of jerkbaits or something. But there were so many steps to get there. So I would always use a day box, but that became a shit show. And that turned into 2-day boxes, one for finesse, one for power fishing. And then it was like, it was a mess. My soft plastic games are crazy. I need some solutions for that. So if you guys want to jump in and throw some submissions, that's great. But like hard baits and terminal, I can handle that. I can get that under control. And that's a big one. Let's see. We got John Hagan says, I cleaned my stuff up and left in shambles after one trip so far. That's all it fucking takes. Mark chimes in and he goes, I've been trying to organize everything, but I keep buying shit and I only have a kayak to put it into. It's a problem. Dude, that is so unbelievably common. And it's true, especially if you're a northern angler. I feel like this hits harder than if you're down south and you have the ability to continue fishing through the winter. Because like you get up here and you get like cool stuff on the off season, I mean, like, let's be honest. I think every winter we kind of cope with the reality of not being able to get out and fish nearly as often as we like without maybe traveling or doing something crazy. We cope by just like making future plans and buying stuff that's cool, and like, dude, the tackle companies and the media, like we all know it. We talk about this stuff. And I feel like that's what happens. Like a lot of us, we acquire this stuff and then we're like, well, how do I fit this in? And like just today, I looked at a bag of all kinds of stuff from like all the expos and like just little orders and stuff. Like I had a bunch of these bait finesse glides from Bait Sanity, these gill glides. They're just amazing. And I tried to be smart and I bought a box specifically so I could expand on some of my finesse stuff. So it's all over the place. You acquire stuff, things happen. It is what it is. And we just got to make the best of it. So, I really wish that Joe was in here for this. So I'm going to make a big recommendation that he give this segment a listen because it is a doozy.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
Bobby, Jigs and Bigs boys, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin here. I was just sitting here drinking a tequila, a beer, a whiskey, a beer, another beer, and I'm watching the old Jigs and Bigs YouTube channel, and I see you doing unboxing from ABF Tackle. I want to say a big FTG to who the fuck is Joe Brown sending that big giant penis to you, Bobby. You don't deserve that. If I ever see that Joe Brown, I'm gonna kick him in the stomach and drop him on that stack of dimes he called a neck. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Fuck that guy.
Apparently, Joe has struck a chord with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Unfreaking believable. He said Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's why I said in the intro, I was like, we're going to have a beer. And it went right over Joe's head. But here we are. It's all good. Guys, we have more show coming up after this. You're not going to want to miss out. It is good stuff. What we've got is Matt and James, the hosts of the Small Ponds, Big Dreams podcast. They're sitting down with me. We're going to talk all kinds of stuff. We're obviously going to talk fishing. We're obviously going to talk baits. We're going to talk podcasting too. And I don't get to talk with other podcasters nearly as often as I like to because we're wired different. We are unique. We're a unique bunch. Stone Cold Steve Boston, John Hagan says. Nice job. Nice job. Guys, don't go too far. We have more Jigs and Bigs coming up with our Beef Seat segment right after this.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Alrighty, guys. Bobby Roast Beef here, Jigs and Bigs. And man, this makes 2 shows back to back where we have guests in the beef seat. We got a doozy today. Let me set the stage a bit for you guys. I got the opportunity to meet our guests at the last Columbus Fishing Expo. And they are not only fellow anglers and members of the fishing community, but they are also podcasters. I'm joined today by Matt and James of Small Ponds, Big Dreams. And let me tell you, the dreams are massive. Boys, how are we doing today? How's everything going?
Hey, not too bad, Bobby. Not too bad at all.
That's awesome. Good. Yeah, very good, man. I'm glad to. So you guys have actually been getting out on the water like over the last week or so, right?
A little bit here and there.
Yeah.
We've had a little bit of a break in the winter weather, and we wet a line a little bit.
And one of you guys managed to at least catch something, right?
That'd be me.
Yeah. Nice job. Nice job. I got to live vicariously right now, but, you know, that's badass. So
yeah, it's been nothing but drop shot.
This time of year, man, that's the name of the game, you know, slow, subtle, you know. They're just, they got to eat, but they're not looking to eat like, you know, they're definitely not chasing yet. So why don't we go ahead? We'll dive right in, guys. You know, you're no strangers to the show. You've been listening for a long time. These segments here, it's all about kind of sharing stories. And I know that you guys, especially when you got, you know, friends with a history like yours, you're bound to have a bunch of stories. So feel free to share those. But let's start at the beginning and kind of talk about fishing. And which of you kind of was into fishing first?
James, it's not you.
No, it's definitely not me.
I love that. That's awesome. So tell us about it, Matt. How'd you get started?
So basically, when growing up, my father owned a Skeeter bass boat.
Yep.
And we went bass fishing on Saturdays during summer, spring, fall, all of it, my whole childhood.
Nice.
We also went and visited family on my mom's side in Minnesota.
Oh,
and we just hammered them while we were out there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like where the love grew.
Yep.
But then life kind of hit me. I had a child when I was 18.
Yep.
Kind of got propelled into fatherhood.
Yep. Being
so fishing went on the back burner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 2020, right?
Yeah.
I went to Minnesota on a trip.
Yep.
And dude, we threw poppers and I just, oh my God, I just fell in love. And
That's
so I came back to Ohio.
Yep.
And I was like, James, I'm going fishing. And James is an outdoors guy.
Yeah.
He likes to just be out in nature, camp, all that fun stuff.
Love it.
And I'm like, so I'm going to go fishing. You should come with me. And he was very reluctant to grab a pole.
Gotcha.
He was like, I'll walk around with you. I'll enjoy the nature.
He was there for the views.
Yes, he was there for the vibes.
Nothing wrong with
Growing up for me, I'd only been out fishing like twice with my dad when I was like 5 or 6. So it wasn't anything I ever really did before.
Yeah.
So I think it was like, maybe 5 outings?
Yeah, maybe that many.
Yeah. About 5 outings. And he was like, hey, any chance I could pick up that extra pole you have for a little while? And it kind of just started from there.
Yeah, that's awesome though. And that's the beginnings of like, it's just like the foundation is laid. You start to build off of that. And I heard your episode where you guys were reviewing day 1 and day 2 at the expo and kind of going through your stuff. So I think it's probably safe to say that James has joined the ranks of the Tackle Junkies Union, you know, and you guys are representing the Ohio chapter well. So I think that that's fantastic. That's great, dudes. That is awesome. So what, like individually, like what is your preferred style of fishing? Like what type of an angler are you guys each?
I'll let you go first.
I'm more of a power fisher. Throwing the chatterbaits a lot.
Yep.
I'm getting into more finesse and really breaking into the hard jerk baits this year.
Nice.
And maybe picking up a BFS here in a little soon.
Oh, I can't recommend it enough. Like, if you like those power fishing techniques, it's the familiarity of having a bait casting platform, but being able to throw such downsized and more subtle baits is just awesome. It is awesome. I can't recommend it enough.
From what little I have so far, I recommend it on high. It's super fun.
It's a blast.
Which fits my style of fishing. I am a finesse fisherman. I love finesse fishing. Nico rig is like my favorite rig.
Yep.
I also really love weightless plastics, weightless jerk baits.
Yep. Home run.
Yeah. Just an easy presentation for our ponds around here, man. They're so pressured.
Yep.
And it just really, really, really does well.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So you guys are primarily fishing like small ponds or small lakes and ponds for the most part. And you're fishing exclusively from the bank now, or are there vessels in play?
So it's funny you ask. So we recorded our episode last night, and we actually revealed in our episode we did purchase a boat.
Oh, really?
So we're going to be able to be on the water.
That's awesome.
So we have been statistically like wade fishing, bank fishing, a lot of creeks, and a lot of ponds. We haven't really moved on to the bigger things. And that was kind of the idea when we started the podcast, like small ponds to move on to bigger dreams.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
So we started that with the boat. So we have a, 12 foot?
No, 12 foot, yeah.
Yeah, 12 foot V-hull aluminum boat.
Beautiful.
Yeah, just, something to beat up.
That's exactly it.
Shallow water.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can mess it up. You're not going to be like, oh, my gel coat. You know what I'm saying? Like, trust me, like it's kind of nice. There was, what was it, this last spring? This last spring, I was bringing my boat in to pack up at the end of the day. And this one area that I'm fishing, there's a bunch of like good sized rocks, and the water's a little bit lower than normal. And you got to be real careful getting up close to the launch. And I was coming in a little bit too hot, and I put a nice ding in the side of my boat. But I'm like, it's aluminum, man. I'm like, that's exactly why I bought it, was so that this wouldn't like destroy my fiberglass or anything like that. So that's awesome, boys. So are you doing it? So let's talk about this vessel. Like, are you doing a build, or is this something where you can drop in the water and be ready to go this season?
So we're definitely going to have it out this season.
Perfect.
We'd like to build it out, but we believe the capacity is not there for it.
Yeah.
So right now we're going to slap a trolling motor on it, and we're just going to go.
You know what? That's probably your best bet. Yeah. Pop.
We do have a lot of lakes around here that are like electric lakes. So it's kind of perfect.
It's nice. And it makes it easy to move. I mean, a boat that size is pretty nimble. It's like you trailer it around with ease, drop it into a bunch of different places. Pretty simple. Don't worry about a whole lot. And, when you're going electric only, like it definitely does help, like as far as making it passable for some of those areas. And if you're restricted in those bodies of water, home run. Love it.
Oh, I agree. I agree. We've got one out here that I've gone to a couple times, and they have like a boat rental service there.
Yep.
So we've rented a couple boats a couple times and had a great time. And that's kind of like what propelled us to get the aluminum boat.
Exactly.
Because we realized then it was like, okay, this can get us into anything we want to be into.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the nice thing is, too, like, if you decided you wanted to throw an outboard on eventually, you could look into, like, low horsepower, like something like that. You don't need a whole lot to get the job done. If you want to do a couple, like, longer runs or something, it's the nice thing is about a setup like that is that it's kind of modular. You're not, it really is. That's pretty slick. But it is a gateway.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time with it.
That's awesome.
I think we're just excited to get off the bank.
Dude, I think that is if there's one thing that when people ask me for like, oh yeah, so what's the best advice that you can give somebody who's angling? It's get off the bank. Like whatever it is that you've got to do, there's a bunch of different ways and there's no one right way to do it. And for some people that just means waiting. Like just get out there a little bit further, and you'll open up your possibilities of where you can actually find fish. Because you run into this brick wall eventually where you're like, in my local area, what I've got access to fish, I'm limited to this, and these areas. And it gets a little stale after time. And then sometimes you'll see people that just put it down. They're like, yeah, I'm not interested in a boat or something. Then find a friend that's got a boat. If you need to, like, get off the bank. And it will, like, if you've ever find yourself, and this is to all the anglers that are listening, if you ever find yourself, like, questioning, like, oh, yeah, this is kind of the same old routine, I want to spice it up, get off of the bank. Get out on the water. Trust me, the inspiration to keep fishing is going to hit you like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, I 100% agree. My biggest thing is, like, if you're a bank angler, $40, get you a pair of waders off Amazon.
Yeah.
Find a creek, find a river, and get out in the water. And the experience you will have will change the way you look at fishing.
Yep, 100%. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with it. So let's talk about, like, you know, these styles of fishing. Like, James, you're more you lean toward more power fishing. Matt, you're more of a finesse angler. But what now? You guys primarily fish for bass, or is that just like the technique you're ate up with? Do you have other species that you're interested in?
That's a hard one. So we kind of go out for primarily bass.
Yep.
But we're not against catching bycatches.
Yeah, oh, of course. It's fun.
But I think that's why the BFS became so interesting to me, because this year I kind of really wanted to focus more on forage to kind of learn more of what the bass are actually going after.
Yeah.
And just kind of grow my knowledge.
Yeah. No, I totally understand that. And it's funny, man. You know, I realized something. I was thinking this week about my list of different species for personal bests. I have the most personal bests caught on bait finesse. And
really?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's really only 2 that are conventional size baits where I've caught them. Largemouth, my previous personal best over this was the same thing. It was on like a 110 jerkbait. It was a Provoke 106. My other largemouth was on a flipping jig, the current PB. And then my snakehead was on a bladed jig, like a half ounce, I think like a Z-Man EVO or no. It was a Picasso shock blade.
Oh,
yeah,
shock blade.
It was on a shock blade.
Yeah.
And everything else that I've caught, like my brown trout, all my smallmouth, every personal best I've knocked off with smallmouth has been on like super tiny baits with bait finesse, you know. My PB brook trout, same thing. My PB chain pickerel's 27 inches. That was on
that's nice.
A Bronco blade from Mule.
Oh, dude, that's crazy.
It was unbelievable. But like, yeah, most of them are. And I was like, that is crazy. It's such a great tool, you know? And like, if you're gonna dabble anywhere, I think that's a great place to do it. Because like, let's face it, we're always looking for that next thing, you know?
Yes. Yes.
So I do want to talk about this a little bit because I mentioned it in the recording of the show that was last night. But yesterday I was lucky enough I had this package show up, Matt, that came from you guys. Did you? Yes, I did, and it's from Dropout Supply. And I was showing this off to the jig heads in the chat last night.
Dude, that looks so cool.
We
didn't open it or look at it before we sent it to you.
Dude, this is beautiful. I can't thank you guys enough. Right. But I was looking around at the Dropout website and like the level of craftsmanship and thoughtfulness that goes into these, like, you know, obviously there's some cool stuff, like obviously like the rotating attachments for your treble hooks. So when you get hooked up, like it can't leverage this bait to throw it. But like what really blew me away, man, was this little, like first off, the packaging is amazing.
Is amazing.
It really is. It's genuinely amazing. Like everything is in here. The hooks come removed with the split ring attached in a cutout in this corrugated cardboard that holds it perfectly in place. And there's this little vial in here. And I was like, what is this? So there's additional weights. I didn't realize this. There's additional weights that are in here that you can add if you want to customize it. There's a little plug too. And there's a spot. So if it's too slow sinking and you want it to sink a little bit faster, to fish it in deep water, you have options. It even comes with the clip.
Yep.
Which is crazy. I'm like, it is.
He thinks of everything.
He really does. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So I want to just personally, I want to say thank you guys. This is very, very thoughtful. It's exactly in like the style of fishing that I'm trying to learn more about. And this is an ideal size for me to feel way more comfortable. Like this will get thrown because I'm not going to need like that giant swim bait combo on every trip, you know? Like I'll probably throw this around when I'm bank fishing on one of my other like medium heavies. Freaking awesome. So you guys are absolute. I appreciate you big time. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome, Bobby. Hey, we appreciate you and what you've been doing for the last 5 years. So we were like, what could we get him? And then we saw the name of that color, and the name of that color is beef.
And that's part of the reason. That's part of the reason when you guys jumped in the Zoom, I was playing Shake Hands with Beef initially. Yeah. Oh no, you came in. It was blue. It was blue collar tweakers. Before that, I was playing Shake Hands with Beef. I was like, I'll play a little bit of Primus for the boys. I remember.
Oh yeah. I remember. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, baby. Let's talk. Like, you know, I heard some of the baits that you guys had picked up at the expo, and you guys are definitely in this like you definitely seem like you're experimenting more with like more custom and craft stuff and JDM stuff as well. Like I know, Matt, with you're a big G-Crack guy. Like you've talked about that a bunch before. I just got into some bellows gills recently because I want to do some like downsized Texas rig fishing with bait finesse. Yep. And it might be, actually, that might be like the dock skipping bait this year. It very well could. Just I see high skippability with that. But
it's amazing for skipping.
What is it that you love about it specifically? But also, if there's other stuff that you're like, this is what I'm ate up with, tell me about it. And the same thing with you, James. If you've got something as well, let us know what you're all about.
I'll let James go first because I know what he's going to talk about, and then we can talk to you crack because I can talk to you crack all day, literally all day.
I'm just diving into jerkbaits right now. Mm-hmm. That's my big journey. And it's just fun to fish. I love the jerk and retrieve, and helps that I caught a couple nice smallies on it in December.
Builds confidence.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, James is your Z-Man guy.
Yeah.
He loves Z-Man. Anything and everything that they produce, James predominantly is running.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's not to love other than like the melting of that's the only thing. But you know, the thing is, like the jerk shads are unbelievable. What is it? The goat. It's kind of like a
the
toads.
It's got the two appendages in the back.
Yes. So there's the goat, the billy goat, and then there's the toads that are. If I'm running a buzz toad, that is my go-to because, like, especially with the toads, you can stop it. You get to an edge of like a pad and you can stop it and it doesn't sink. It just sits there. And that is such a sneaky little use of that plastic style. It's fantastic. But like,
I agree.
Jerk baits are like, do you have a favorite specific plug like for jerk baits that you like?
Not yet.
Yep.
I just picked up a bunch to try out. I got my first Vision, except for I did the Vision 110 Junior, so like I'm a little smaller.
That's a sneaky one.
But I picked up a bunch of the rod benders at the fishing expo that I'm excited to get out and try.
That's right, rod benders. I forgot about those.
Yeah, we got to talk to them a little bit at the fishing expo. We got some of their glide baits as well. Mm-hmm. The Drift is like a 2-ounce ABS glide bait.
Oh yeah,
which seemed pretty good. So we'll get those out on the water this year as well.
Freaking badass, man. I absolutely
love it. G-Crack, man. So I don't know if you watch much YouTube. I'm a YouTube like connoisseur. I will. Okay, so have you ever heard of Homeless Fisherman?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Homeless Fisherman I dived into. So last year, beginning of the year, I was in an accident with my right hand and I completely crushed my right wrist.
Yep. Oh Jesus.
So I was down and out for like 2 months.
Yeah.
So I watched a lot of videos and I really dove into his fishing videos. And the bellows gill is where it kind of started for me with G-Crack. I was like, this looks, gills are everywhere in our ponds.
Definitely.
I feel like this is a great gill presentation. Let's give it a go. And so I started using that and I started seeing great success with it. And then I kind of just started diving into other ones. The Q-Bomb, have you ever seen that one? That's their dice bait.
I have seen that one.
Okay. That's what my PB largemouth is on.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I have to shout out my wife because I would have never bought a dice bait if it wasn't for her.
No kidding.
Because
really?
Yeah, we were out shopping and she's looking around and she just comes up to me and she's like, hey, I think fish would eat this. And this girl's never been fishing. So I'm like, okay, sure, I'll buy it. Bought it, took it out.
Yeah.
I had a day with it. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of started escalating from there and buying more and more of their products and taking them out and testing them. And everything I've used has just had really good success with it. To the point where they have a subscription service. They call their Crack House.
They do?
Yep. It's $100 for the whole year.
What?
And it's almost like a community, dude. If they got your own like areas to post stuff and pictures, and then once a month they do a special drop. And in the special drop is a bunch of baits you can buy. And it can be anything from like discontinued baits that you can't get here in America or to like prototype stuff. If you didn't know about it, it's worth it.
It's definitely worth checking out. I mean, G-Crack is one of those brands that Joe is carrying at AVF Fishing.
Yep.
So very helpful. But I'm curious. So I want to talk dice baits in just a moment. But let's talk as far as like the Bellows Gill. What size are you throwing primarily? And what types of unique ways are you rigging it? Because I've heard a bunch of different methods. Like it's one of those baits where it's like you can't do it wrong. Is what I've heard.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. You cannot throw it wrong. I mainly throw the 3.8 and the 2.8.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like my two favorites. And what I kind of do there is the 3.8 is more like conventional gear.
Yep.
So I'll throw it weightless on EWG or I'll throw it on a beast hook.
Yep.
To get a little extra weight on it.
Is it like is the sink rate like when you throw it weightless? Does it sink quickly?
It is a gravity style bait.
Okay.
It kind of almost sinks at a slower rate. And that's kind of why I add the weight with the beast hook.
Gotcha.
And that's when I want to get it down faster.
Yeah.
And I normally do that in the summer because I'm kind of like bopping around on the bottom and acting like I'm a feeding bluegill.
Sure.
The only little trick and tip I do with that one is don't be afraid to set up a Nico rig on your regular bait caster setup and Nico rig that. G-Crack sells the Nico hacks, which is like a spike that you put through it.
Okay.
And you cut off one side and it has a ring inside the plastic. So you put your hook through the ring and it's like a saver.
I was wondering how that worked for those baits. No kidding. Okay.
And that's what I do for the 2.8. That is my Nico magic.
No kidding.
I love that. Just you throw a little 1/32 ounce weight into it, and you put that Nico hack. And James knows this, but if you know you're throwing that the day before, glue that Nico hack in there, and it will save that plastic so much longer instead of the Nico hack ripping it in half.
That's freaking good. Because one of the things I was considering was rigging it so it was like horizontal, like flat like this, on a larger drop shot hook.
So I've done that too.
Yeah, like that was one. And then, I was thinking like obviously like light Texas rigs for skipping around docks and things like that. I'm going to have to fool around with that.
Free rig, small free rig.
Oh,
that's what I've liked with it too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Same with the Imo Kamushi, the little fuzz bait. If you get that in the elastomer and you throw that on a free rig, money.
No shit.
Yeah.
Huh. I like that. I like that a whole
Bobby, we'll give you all the juice you want. We'll give you all the juice you want on G-Crack.
I'm here for it, man. I picked some up. I think it was Hamilton had some at the show.
It's so funny you say that. So we're going to Hamilton after this for their open house today. Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, we actually might run into Eli.
Oh, no kidding. That's awesome, dude. I love that son of a bitch. He got 2 calls in this week in the live well.
Really?
He did.
When are we going to name it the Eli well?
Well, he's already rolling with it. He calls in and he's like,
hey, I got another call for the Eli well.
And he's just living his best life with it. Did you guys see what Joe put into the box that he sent me as a little gag? Little gag gift.
Oh yeah, dude. I just wonder why Joe has it.
There's an explanation. I won't ruin it for you. There is an explanation in the show, and he was like, "Oh, I saw this sucker," and he's like, "I know where this is going." I'm a little surprised that Big Shan didn't get one sent to him, but maybe there's something. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a little surprise at the Classic. That lucky son of a bitch is going to the Classic, and he's taking his boat, and he's
pretending to fish like he's in the Classic.
I mean, I'm jealous as fuck, but because I'm not involved, it's cringy as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But holy shit, I am dying here, though. I am jealous as shit. There was also, was it High Class Bassmaster Memes on Instagram?
Yes.
Put out a post.
Yes.
Did you guys see this with the bass logo, but block its face over the B? Like,
no.
And it's a limited run of stickers. And he goes, if you're going to be at the Classic, he's like, come up and say hi. I'm going to have a limited run of these stickers and I'll hook them up. And then it was something about, comment like who you think should get one. And I had to tag American Vet Fishing in there. Because I told you, I was like, dude, I need one. It's like one of those that's going to go right on the outboard cover. Like, I'm going to put it right next to the Merc logo. Like, come on. Unbelievable.
It's awesome.
I do. You mentioned dice baits before. Like, you remember last year, like everybody was like, oh, everybody's selling these dice baits. It's so stupid. Now everybody is literally making dice baits. Like I watched a video last night. It was Milliken. And he was fishing and with a prototype of their dice bait and it's unique. Like, of course, like there's not enough like close-up shots to really get an idea, but I will say that the appendages, they don't strike me as like skirt material from a jig. They seem more like it's flat, and I wonder if it just like flaps in the water differently. Flaps.
Oh, okay.
It makes me wonder how it works. But like I at Strike King's contribution for the dice baits, and this was like when I was up in Winnipesaukee. And the tumbleweed. And they have two different varieties. They've got a floater and a sinking. The sinking is such a slow sink. But what was I throwing that on? It was like a wacky hook. And I was just like hooking it right through the middle. I kind of want to dabble with some nail weights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Predominantly how I throw it.
Yeah. I kind of want to dabble a little bit with nail weights and maybe figure out a way to kind of put like an O-ring somewhere in there so that it'll almost work like a Nico where when it gets bit, it'll just slide up the line.
I got a hack for you.
Oh, I'm here for it.
Owner sells screw locks and you just put a screw lock into it. So then you have a ring on the end. You slightly skin hook the dice bait and then go through the ring. And it won't pull out because it's locked in with that screw.
With the screw lock? That might be the move. That might be the move.
That's the one I've dabbled with on that. But no, mainly I throw it with a nail weight in it.
Yep.
What was it, James? 23 on one.
23, 24,
Yeah, 23 or 24 on one Q-bomb fish.
Dude, that's
that I
not
had.
bad.
Yeah, so every time I'd catch a fish, I'd just change the entry point for my hook.
Gotcha.
I just keep changing it and changing it and changing it.
Yep.
And then, of course, like I said before, I glue the weights in the night before.
Yeah.
So the weights never
stuck.
coming out.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
But I've taken that out and just had like 30, 40 fish days.
No shit.
And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because it's just something they've never seen or if it's biologically inherent in the bass, but for now, they eat it.
They're going to, exactly. And I mean, every time that there's like a new trend, it seems like there's a shelf life of like a year, 2, 3, something like that. Then they start to kind of get hip to it. But by the time that happens, there's something else that's going to jump into it. So it's funny. I kind of feel like flukes are kind of in a way this year coming into it, there's more buzz about flukes or like the proper term, soft jerk baits in the conversation. I think I don't know if it's just become like a trend. Same thing last year I think it was spinner baits. Spinner baits were all of a sudden like the buzz thing. And I think also it helps where like things like bait finesse or like even throwing like upsized stuff, like maybe like Magnum, like musky style spinners or something. People like whatever they can lean into to make it unique, to make it more of a trend. Because let's face it, dude, fish are going to just eat anything. They 100% will. You know?
Yeah.
I forget. I was just talking with somebody in the comments about, I shared something on the story, and it was, I forget what the movie is, but it was Will Smith, and he's like, y'all got any good top waters in there? And there's like somebody on the other side, and it's like all a bunch of Lunker Hut shit. And and what it was bandit fishing was just like, I mean, he's like, not for nothing, but I've actually caught on that dragonfly. And I'm like, I don't doubt that. I 100% believe that. But like, I mean, this stuff is still hilarious, like no matter what. But like these fish, they will literally eat anything. So whenever somebody really tells me a story about like, I can't believe this thing ate that, I'm only so surprised, you know? Because then there's a part of me that's always like, I guess it makes sense. Like it was on the water or whatever, you know. I heard a story in this week's episode about a guy who caught like just absolute monster rainbow trout on I don't even know how downsized it was, but it was a rat lure.
Really?
Yeah, I'm guessing it was probably like a Spro BBZ like 30 or 40, something like that. Probably not the big one, but you know, the downsize a little bit. Like they're animals. They're going to eat. It's kind of crazy. So you guys primarily, I know, Matt, you mentioned Minnesota. Between the two of you guys, have you talked about like target spots that you want to travel to? Like what are some of the bucket list fisheries or even just states in general? You're like, yeah, this is what we want to hit.
Well, I want to go to Minnesota with this guy because I haven't gone yet. We always talk about...
I was just going to say, I'm a sucker for the Midwest. That's on my bucket list too. 50th birthday trip. That's in the running.
No.
Yeah, let us know. We'll be there. Minnesota is one of those places where there's so many lakes. You can't go wrong any day of fishing because you just get off that lake if you're having a bad time and just go on to
go elsewhere. And it's just a fishy state. Like, come on, like I was Sean the fisherman was he married a Minnesota girl. And they spend some time in Minnesota routinely. So, you know, he's got all these stories about like fishing some of these bodies of water and like places like, I'll give you a perfect example, like Mille Lacs. He's fished Mille Lacs a bunch. And in fact, he's got horror stories of cormorants over there, which I guess it's pretty, it's like, it's a lot to take in.
Yes.
So he's told me I assume that this is like this amazing fishery. He goes, dude, he's like, you don't get it. Like there'll be like a baseball game, like a Twins game or something, and it'll be like Rapala jerkbait night, and they're handing out baits to everybody. And I'm like, are you for real? And he's like, absolutely. But I guess this kind of makes sense in different pockets of the country. Not everybody's got their head shoved up their ass like Massachusetts when it comes to fishing. I said it, you know? But yeah, Minnesota, we should get off Minnesota's dick. Where else would you guys like to be?
I am really wanting to go to Texas, land of the Giants. That is like the bucket list place right now. I don't even really care what lake we're hitting. I mean, even we just hit Lady Bird Lake, which doesn't sound amazing, but I just want to go there because, you know, you see everybody getting to throw the big size baits, the glides, the swim baits, the bigger soft plastics, all that fun stuff. And they're just pulling them up down there. And that for me is my go-to. And so I think that's my largemouth destination. My smallmouth destination, I still would love to hit the Susquehanna.
Oh my God, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that just sounds like I think me and James both have started to grow more of a love for the bronzies.
Makes sense.
Because, you know, there's just pond fishing. They're just largemouth mainly, and you know, they're fun. But there's something about those smallmouth that just absolutely change you as an angler.
100%.
So I think that's a big thing we're trying to get into more this year.
Especially in a current situation like that. Like, they're just built different. They're fun fish, unbelievable. I went to the Susky once for it was for a kayak adventure series, but it was during Hurricane Debbie, and my plan was I figured like I would just connect with some folks that weren't in the tournament, and just take my boat and just go and do whatever. Well, like the river was like, see, because my kayak sucks for rivers. It's a barge. It's too big for those current situations. It's not nimble enough to be able to like do well, and I'm like definitely not like in new body of water solo. Like I'm not doing that, and I don't want to ruin somebody else's tournament experience by bringing a bunch of drama to it. So I was like, I'm just going to go in some inbound lakes. Army Corps of Engineers shut everything down for those lakes, so it was only fishing in the river. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Like we're gonna let it be. So that sucked. But some of the fish from that tournament that they were showing off pictures of some of the more impressive catches, and I'm like, this is crazy, because it's super skinny. It's not like the St. Lawrence. You go to the St. Lawrence and like that's a whole different beast. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And you see some of the stuff that they're pulling out over there. I still have a chip on my shoulder about that trip, but it is what it is. Yeah, man, I honestly, like, if there's one thing I think that partners with fishing the best, it's travel. Get out there, brand new body of water, learn a little something, go out with a guide, whatever you got to do to get it done, and just enjoy it, and take the totality of that trip and enjoy it. And the fishing is just like, it's like a bonus, and if you get into some good ones, and fantastic. What else you got? So anything else?
Where are you going, James? You still want Texas too?
Yeah.
I still think you want to go to Florida more.
Not so much anymore.
You change it? Oh, okay.
The smallies have changed me on that one.
The smallies, the smallmouth, man.
Yeah.
They will change you as an angler. It really will.
Now, I think, do you guys do any competitive fishing, or are you just out there living it?
Right now, it's just been a bunch of free fishing.
Yep.
But we have been talking about joining a particular fishing tournament.
Actually, you guys would probably really do well once we expand the team trail, especially.
Yes.
But I think the slot series, oh my God, you should definitely get into that.
That's the one. We were talking about it the other night. I was like, man, we got to get in the slot series this year. We actually were going to join one of the ones towards the end of last year.
Yep.
But unfortunately, the day that it was, we were just busy.
We ran into that a couple of times. There was a couple of anglers that had reached out like over right around Christmas time that were interested in us doing multiples within a month. And I was like, if as long as the demand is really there, we probably will do that. We scheduled one a month as just like the standard ones, but I have a feeling Binya is going to be trying a couple of different things. Like we want to do some charity ones too. And it is possible that we talked about this just this week. Actually, we threw around the idea of taking the team format, going nationwide, but combining it with the slot rules.
Okay.
So that's really the reason why it's set up the way that it is. So nationwide, it's the slot series because 12 to 17 inch fish you can catch anywhere. It's like on the team platform, it's a month long. So if you're in like Texas, Florida, California, Virginia, some of these areas where, I'll be fishing Santee Cooper in like a little over a month, and when you're in these fisheries that have like giants available, then over the course of 30 days, you can do a lot of damage. But if you're in like Massachusetts or Ohio, Connecticut, something like that, those large fish are harder to come by. It's much more of a challenge. Like I like to like lump in like Michigan or something in there, but the reality of it is like you've got St. Clair and the Great Lakes and stuff like that. Yeah. You've got a lot of there are giants to be had that are in those bodies of water. Same thing with New York. You can go to Cayuga. I mean, what did they have, a 12-pounder last year that they got pulled out of there?
Yeah.
So like there are big fish to be had, but they're just not necessarily as common as like Louisiana, Texas, Florida, shit like that. So the slot works really well, but we did consider the idea of like, what if we did it as a team? And it's just, you guys fish together and it's one entry. You just work together and it's more people working together. Yeah. That could be kind of cool. And it could be different bodies of water.
That'd be fun.
I'm all about that. The multi-species scavenger hunt's my freaking baby. I love that. That's my favorite tournament.
I think I'm going to do that one this year with the BFS combo. I think that would be a fun little, like, you know how some days it can be when you're bass fishing. It can get a little aggravating when you're not catching or when you see
what you're targeting.
You're not catching.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think, like, just pull the BFS out, throw something kind of small and see what you can get and just enter that tournament as well, kind of as a little extra.
Oh, yeah. I think the best thing that we've done with that tournament is getting rid of the month-long time period and making the opens 1 week. Because it's like, and the timing is really good. I think I got to double check, but I believe the championship is scheduled on the weekend where there's supposed to be a full moon. So that could be fire.
That could change a lot of
things.
That's
only 48 hours. So it's going to be bananas. Like right now I have charts and graphs. You guys watch It's Always Sunny at all?
A little bit.
Okay. So the scene where Charlie's working in the mailroom and he's got this chart plotted out about Pepe Sylvia. That's kind of like my other corner over here where I'm like, okay, so I'm going to hit this place. I'm going to have all my camping gear set up. So I'm not going to be home for 48 hours. I'm taking off. I'd like to say we're going to record the show. If we record the show that Friday night, it's going to be while I'm carp or catfishing from the boat, like just recording it right there. And I'll be like, okay, I got something on. But it's also the thing I tell everybody is take a look at the species. Cause I think we got 22 or 23 and they're generally the ones that we have that are selected are the primary, the most popular sport fish in the entire US. So, there are, of course, species that just don't show up on there. And we've had lots of requests for people to put oh, you guys should add yellow bass. You should do wipers. You should do this. And, we definitely could do that. I think as the time period shrinks, it makes it a little bit more interesting to kind of do that. But overall, this kind of what we have covers the vast majority of the country. So you can get out there and just absolutely kill it. And it's like Pokemon, but real life.
but real life Pokemon.
Yeah, it's like real life Pokemon.
You're not just walking around staring at your phone like, oh, hey, got another one.
Yeah, and you're literally catching beasts that when you catch them, they're looking at you like, this is an alien. What is this?
I've been abducted.
Exactly. You're going to put that where? No. The hook in your mouth. Yes, that.
That's all I'm doing.
Dude, I love that. So this is a weird question. I'd like your take on it because you guys seem very Jigs and Bigs. You guys seem like Jigs and Bigs folks. You know what I'm saying? And that there is, specific, what I like to call fishy adjacent activities. These are things that work well. And I have two things specifically that I think are super fishy adjacent. Number one is the fish whistle world. And number two is food. Because I think when you're out on the water, be it solo or with friends, there's no better way to put that cap on the end of a good send or an absolute grind than either celebrating or wallowing in a fantastic meal. So let's start there because everybody's got to eat. Everybody's going to die. Let's talk about what's your go-to? What's that like? And actually, let's spin this. What's that reward meal afterwards? But how do you fuel up? In the morning when you're leaving, what's that stop at the gas station like for you guys? Because we all do it, What are you picking up to get ready?
It's almost like a ritual for every fisherman.
It doesn't feel right if you don't,
Yeah, you're off to a bad start if you're not doing it. For me, it's always I'm on the Alani kick right now. I really like the Alani energy drinks in the morning, so I got to grab me an Alani. I got to get me a water.
Yep.
Got to stay hydrated through the day.
Yep. 100%.
Then it's typically a protein bar of some sort to get that protein in.
Yep.
And then I hate to say it, but I'm a sucker for a quick little sugar sweet in the morning.
My man.
I'm a sucker for a powdered sugar donut.
Oh, a powdered sugar donut.
Oh, dude, it's absolute sucker.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's my go-to morning. I don't know. Afterwards, it's it depends on how the fishing trip went. If it was a bad trip, I'm swinging through Wendy's. I'm just heading home.
Body punishment. Yep.
Yes, body punishment. But if it's a good trip, man, I'm down to go to a restaurant, get maybe some Mexican food, something. We got a Mexican restaurant here in Dayton. What is? I never know the name of it. I just call it the Third Street Mexican restaurant. What is it called? Las Mexa,
Tex-Meca,
something like that. But it is literally just home Mexican food. It is amazing.
I didn't realize that you guys are in Dayton.
Yeah,
you're getting to Buc-ee's.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you're getting to fucking Buc-ee's, man.
Dude, we're getting fucking Buc-ee's, dude.
The most northern Buc-ee's in history so far. That is wild.
And it took them a while, man.
They did. They definitely did. You know, I almost did a YouTube series on making the comparison of like those mega gas stations, like, you know, Buc-ee's and Sheetz and like all this stuff that's got like a cult following, and the difference in fishing areas. So like fishing in New England, like you're never going to see Buc-ee's in New England. It'll never happen, just because the highway system does not make sense for it, you know?
Yeah.
And but I was like, holy shit,
75, man.
You're gonna.
That's what brought it for us.
No shit. All right. Okay. I definitely dig like the like you said the difference where you're just like, yep, hitting the drive-through because like you gotta eat something, but you know they're less of a celebration. Sometimes it's more of a pick me up. I have this thing that I like to do and I learned this from Sean the Fisherman is whoever had the better day buys. And the reason
we're implementing that, and we're implementing that.
The reason
I'm good with that.
The reason is that this way it's kind of like, so like it could be anything. Like with Sean, this was like, you know, you grab chips and a soda on the way home, and he's like, oh, I got this, man, blah 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 blah, and then he'll just sit there and be like,
so how's your chips and soda, huh? You drying your tears from fucking sucking at fishing the way you did, huh?
And I did this to Binya. We did this. There's a video on the Jigs and Bigs YouTube channel where like boat versus kayak in the slot tournament, boat versus kayak, forward facing sonar versus no electronics. And we both had the worst days ever. In fact, the guy that won the tournament was on the same body of water with us and was basically like, have you guys like, are you trying to catch the right fish? Like I probably caught 40, 50 fish that day that were all under 12 inches. It was ridiculous. But I managed to squeak out the win against Binya with like a good 16 incher and like 70 feet of water on a micro jig, like super tiny. Finally convinced a decent bite. And I just that's all I did is just keep fishing. Binya's like in the shade, like pedaling around, contemplating life. Like, so we went out for barbecue and I was like, I got this, man. And I didn't say anything, but I just sat there with the biggest smile eating my brisket sandwich. I was like, yes. So what about you, James? How do you start your day off, and then what's the ending, you know, meal look like for you?
So my gas station trips are usually pretty small. I'll grab a coffee, a water for the water, go with a protein or like a peanut nut bar.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And some beef jerky to take on the water just in case.
Hell yeah, dude. Jerky at the ready is staple. There's your protein. I love that.
Yeah. Afterwards, much like him, bad day, it's going to be a hit a drive-through on the way home.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a good day or even just a lot of work day, I like to hit a local tavern, get a nice greasy, juicy burger.
Oh, yeah.
Off the grill and a beer.
Hell yeah, you can't go wrong. That is the way to go. I've changed up my gas station stop in the morning quite a bit. Usually what I would do is I used to have this thing where I wouldn't eat anything before I fished, primarily because I just didn't want to have to shit while I was out there. So I wouldn't eat anything.
I get it.
I would drink a 32 ounces of water, and then I would bring like another one of those like Nalgene bottles or something else with me, and I would basically just wait until I was done fishing. Now that's different. Now it's a whole different thing. I'll actually start with like a coffee most of the time, depending on like if it's in the middle of summer, we're going out for like topwater. I've actually switched it up. I'll grab like a canned coffee drink, like one of the Black Rifles or something like that. And I'll usually give myself a sweet little treat early. And I am lately I've been a Little Debbie
double.
oatmeal cream pie guy.
Oh yeah,
The double stack, and
oh yeah.
I know Bailey from Serious Angler is also a fan. But I'm telling you, that is like a home run. It's a nice little boost, little sugar rush, nice and early, and then after that, I'll hold off, but I'm open to suggestion. I'll look wherever I'm at and be like, let's get weird with it. And if there is nothing better than like a really good day of fishing, going to like a really nice steakhouse in like sun bleached AFTGO gear, just sitting there like reeking of like soft plastic scent and stuff like that, and you're just like, whatever, I had a good day, enjoy this porterhouse. That's just a baller move. So we got couple other questions here, but this is gonna need some separation from the two of you guys. Let's dive into the fishing stories. So there's two stories I want from each of you. Like that moment when you're on the water and everything's good, the moment you're most proud of. So imagine you're at a party or something like that, and you go up to the bar and somebody says, "Oh, hey Matt," or "Hey James, yeah, so and so told me you've been really into fishing lately, or you were doing this podcast." Like, tell us that story. And then the follow up to that is like the biggest, like that epic fail where it all went to shit. And that could be like an injury, it could be a lost fish, it could be lost gear, like anything like that. Any sort of tragedy that like is the pinnacle.
All right. You want to go first?
Sure. So as far as proud fishing story, was actually recent. It was last December.
Oh, all right.
We went out fishing. We never really did winter fishing much before. Never really fished much of a hard jerk bait except for early on in my fishing.
Yep.
Went out in the falling snow. I think we ended up with like 4 inches by the end of that day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good snowfall then.
Throwing out a jerk bait.
Mm-hmm.
And managed to pull in my new PB Smallie at 17 inches, which before that it was probably 10 inches.
10, 11.
That's a big jump. So that's great.
Yeah. And in the snow, getting pictures with it with the snow falling was fantastic.
I have heard that if you're out fishing and it does start to snow, that they will just lose their minds. And I've never actually had the opportunity where that was the case. Like I've been out plenty of times, and I'm like, it's looking in the forecast like we're going to get some snow, and either it never happened or it started after I got off the water. I believe there's genuinely something to that, but that is badass, and the picture I think is what really makes it. Congrats, dude! That's awesome.
Thank you.
Now, do you want to give us the biggest fail, or do you want to do?
I'll give you the biggest fail.
Okay,
go for it. Little intro to this. This was a few years ago when I first tried jerkbaits, actually. But I got a buddy who bought a canoe. It's an old town.
Yep.
We took out the middle and front seat, threw a wood decking in the middle.
That's a ballsy maneuver.
Threw some extending arms out with like those yoga rolls, basically.
Gotcha. A little stabilization,
stability.
Yep. Okay.
Threw a little trolling motor on the back. We were out hitting this little big pond, little lake.
Yep.
And I was throwing a jerk bait from the front of the canoe, not standing, but in the front. And he's in the back with the troller. And pulled back.
Oh no.
Pulled forward. Bait didn't come.
Oh no.
It was in his back.
Oh.
So now we're on this canoe, one on each end with this wood deck in between us. And middle of the water and turning around trying to dig jerkbait treble hook out of his back for him. It was a struggle. We got there, got it back out pretty eventually. And kept fishing, actually.
How many of the hooks were like past the barb?
Just one.
Oh, okay. That helps a lot. That is tough, dude. Like, especially with a jerkbait. Like, if you've got like 3 trebles on there, it's like, oh, dude. I've been connected.
Start getting scared.
I've been connected before to a yellow perch via a lipless jerkbait, lipless crankbait, and one hook point in him, me on another hook, him dangling. Not fun. at all.
No.
Dude, I'm stoked for it. That's awesome. You were able to get it out though on the water. That's great. Because I would, that is holy shit, dude. Getting hooked stories are interesting because it kind of is like it's sort of a little bit of a badge of honor. Like it's the ultimate, and I've seen some shit other than being like bitten by a shark or something. Like, or like, oh yeah, the tip of my thumb came off from the snakehead or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like something about like, oh yeah, I've hooked myself a million times, or I've got, I buried a hook point into this bone part of my finger or whatever. And you're just like, ouch. It's and everybody's
that
got
sucks, man.
It does. Now, Matt, you've been fishing for quite a bit longer, and you might have more to pull from. What are your stories like? James already set the bar kind of high with these.
Yeah, he kind of did.
He did.
I got tons of stories. I could sit here and tell you fishing stories all day, but I think right now, if you were to ask me if I was like at a party and someone would come up to me and say, "Oh, you fish," all that. I think it'd have to be seeing my son catch his PB last year.
Oh, dude,
like, it was on a bait caster, and he just started learning how to throw a bait caster. It was on a swim jig, which is like one of my favorite baits of all time. Yep. And just to see the excitement and joy, it was like 3 pounds. So it was a decent size for Ohio. And, the pure excitement that came out of it, we were chest bumping, video taking, photo taking, just having a good time and seeing him grow as an angler. Yeah. In that moment, like it just kind of, click. Yep. And that has to be for me. My catches, I have tons of fun stories out on the water. I go back to stories with my dad in Minnesota, throwing poppers and catching they go crazy. You catch 2, one on one hook and one on the other treble. And this would happen 4 or 5 times in a row. That's crazy. So I have tons of stuff like that. But seeing my son, just actually catch that PB, pull that hook for the first time was just, I don't know. I can't top that one. That's very, very that level of pride that you have in that moment. You can't even explain. I remember specifically my youngest daughter, because when I was getting into fishing, she was super young and was like, oh yeah, this sounds cool. We should try and do this. And this was in that point in my life where I had gotten into fishing. My oldest had gone with me a couple of times and we just didn't have any luck. Didn't really know what we were doing, but I had put it down for a little while. And then about a year and a half, and I came back to it with another friend of mine. And when I came back to it, I was all in. And my youngest was kind of like, well, Dad, I'd like to go with you. I was like, well, let's go. And there's this college campus near me that I go to. And so I was like, I'll buy you a rod, so I'll teach you how to use it. And I taught her in the backyard, how to use it. And she wanted to fish jigs. So I was nice.
Okay, all right, Daddy's going to show you how to fish a jig. So I got these small, I think they were Terminator finesse jigs, really, really small as this PB&J jig. And I was like, so, we're going to work on casting over to this. And where we fish is over by this dam. And this jig hits the water. And on the fall, I see the line just go like that. I was like, okay, kiddo, you got to fish on. Reel up a little bit and set the hook like I told you to. Her first bass. The thing that killed me in that moment was after she's done, she's like, sweet, I caught a fish.
Let's go get breakfast.
That's awesome.
She wouldn't hold it. I'm holding. I took a picture of her. I'm holding the fish in front of her. She was so excited though. But that level of pride, even when I caught my first, my first PB, 6 pounds, I was like, this is amazing. But it didn't compare to seeing that.
It doesn't touch it.
It was totally different.
It doesn't touch it.
The value that you can take from that. So I totally. And any parent right now listening to the show is totally going to relate to that 100%. So that's badass. Now, what about the epic fail?
All right. So my epic fail is going to be not recent. It was last year, but we fish this pond that's local to us. It's a big pond that everybody fishes. Yep. We call it Popo Pond. And
okay.
Yeah, there's a fun story behind that.
All right.
But so we were going to record a podcast that night. Yeah. And I was like, screw it, I'll go fish for a half hour. So I go to Popo Pond, I'm fishing, I'm throwing a Nico rigged 2.8 Bellows gill and green AJ's Juice is the color I was throwing.
Okay.
I'm popping it along and it stops. Pretty sure I got a log, right? You know, we all have that.
Been there, yeah.
Well, the log starts to move. So I start, reeling in all this fun stuff. I've never seen a bass so big in my life that came up. And I fought it for about 5-10 minutes. I got it all the way to the bank, and the pond we fish has got big chunk rock on the edge of the bank.
Yep. Oh, no. Yep.
So I'm high up, and it starts to come up. So I go down, and it breaks my line. And right as my line breaks, I freak out. So I jump face forward down into these rocks to grab this bass. Bobby, I had my hands around this sucker. I had my hands
You
around
had
this
him, yeah.
Yes. And he slid out of my hands and off into the deep he went. Now, at this time, depression has fully set in.
Oh, yeah.
I climb back up the rocks. I sit down. I stare off into the sunset.
It's like a bleed
I
out moment.
life.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah. It's one of those moments where you're like, you have to breathe. You have to tell yourself, remind yourself to breathe. Like, you're breathing. You're fine. You're okay. You're good. But then at this moment in time, I realized jumping down the rocks, I had sliced my legs up.
Oh, I bet.
So bad. I'm like profusely bleeding out of my leg. So I call my wife and I'm like, hey.
Allison changes nutshell, starts playing in the background.
Yes. So I call my wife. I'm like, hey, are you still at work? Because her work is close to this pond.
Uh-huh.
She's like, yeah. I'm like, hey, I'm banged up. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, just don't worry about it. Nothing crazy. But I need to come by and check out your medical supplies. So I licked my wounds at my wife's work, and we recorded a podcast that night.
That's the show must go on.
The show must go on, Bobby.
So those are both fantastic stories. Like, I'm telling you, especially when it's injuries. It's such a fucking like in the moment move too, diving in at the fish like
Oh, dude, yeah, that's all I can think of. I was like, dude, no, and I'm just going. And no,
oh my God.
It was a bad idea, but whatever.
Now, I'm glad you brought up podcasting because I'd like to shift gears a little bit and talk about podcasting. So you got what was the inspiration? Like, how did you guys get started? And how do you formulate and produce your show?
So the way this started with an idea.
Yep.
And the idea was me and James, we're best friends, but we don't have very many friends. We don't have a lot of people to talk to about fishing.
Yep.
And we kind of were like, I'd like to build some kind of a community, maybe a close-knit community, something around the Midwest so we have more people to talk about fishing. I want to learn more. I want to teach if I can, if there's people out there that are newer. So we just kind of started formulating this plan.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, James was not on board. James was like, hey, man, I'll be your editor. I'll sit in the background. I'll edit all your stuff for you. You don't have to do it. You're the podcaster. So I brought in for a temporary point in time, another one of my buddies that we have. His name's Kyle. If you listen to the earlier episodes of Small Ponds, Big Dreams, he's on there. But then 2 days after that, James goes, hey, I want to be on your podcast.
This sounds fun.
And I was like, okay, cool. So we kind of just started it with an idea of spread as much knowledge as you can, have as many fishing stories out there as you can, just spread laughter and try to build a community.
Absolutely, man.
And we've just kind of been going from there. And like, we're real, I guess the word would be virgin to social media.
Sure.
So all of this is such a big learning process for us. But we so far have just really, really enjoyed it.
That's freaking badass, man. It's awesome when like you start to see it kind of like get a little bit of momentum behind it where things start going. So you guys are what, you guys are almost 20. You're 18 episodes in so far.
Yep, 19 drops Monday.
19 drops on Monday. That is freaking awesome, man. Let's talk about like your experience within those like 20 episodes. Like, are there any interesting moments that kind of maybe surprised you producing content in the fishing world, like positive or negative, like that have come up while you're building this community? Because I'm assuming you guys have some dialogue with regular listeners that have latched on early. And those, by the way, those folks are like, hold them close.
Those are your key listeners.
They're going to be there for the long haul.
So far, our listener base hasn't really kind of communicated with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's because they're, shy or afraid to start to contact.
Yep.
But we would love to start that community and that building and talking about fishing and questions. We all have questions when it comes to fishing.
Oh, definitely.
It's just having the people to try to absorb that knowledge from is not always as vast as you would like it to be.
Yeah, exactly.
The coolest part so far is, I think for me, you can obviously speak for yourself, but for me, we did a little giveaway right after the Columbus Fishing Expo.
Yep.
And the two things I thought was really cool about that is Dark Horse Tackle actually reached out to us afterwards and offered that $25 gift card to add to the giveaway, which I thought was super cool. They don't really know us from anybody else, and to just jump on to somebody who's so new to the space. I thought that was super cool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then when we did the giveaway and we had a guy win in Massachusetts, a high schooler, right?
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he's on a high school fishing team. And he's the guy that won. And that was like super cool to me to think that, like, one, there's a piece of merch with our podcast name on it in a different state.
Yeah.
So I thought that was super cool. And then also now somebody is going to be using a bunch of baits that we think are super cool in Massachusetts.
That's
so
awesome.
For me, that's been one of the best things.
That is definitely one of the things that I thought was most unique about getting into this specific platform, because it's really accessible. People talk a lot about podcasts. Like now I feel like the term podcast these days has kind of gotten skewed to like television show. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like everybody thinks that like a podcast is like, MSNBC, you know what I mean? Like or C-SPAN, where it's just like the studio shot and everybody's going back and forth talking. And it's like, the thing is specifically like with video podcasts, I'll get off my soapbox in a minute. A lot of people have asked, they're like, oh, when's Jigs and Bigs going to transition over to doing a video podcast? I was like, our show is like generally 2.5 hours at like the minimum, up to 4.5 hours at the most. That is a big ask to assume somebody's going to sit in front of a screen and watch something that is primarily dialogue driven. Like it's a lot. There are films that don't go anywhere because somebody doesn't want to sit in front of a dialogue-based movie, like a romantic comedy for like 90 minutes straight through. They want something that's visually, appealing. I'm not saying that those movies don't do well or anything like that, but like they don't get Oscars. But I will say, like, when it comes to what we do, like being able to provide somebody something that's as easily accessible as putting in a pair of headphones while they're on the treadmill, and they get to listen to some folks and kind of grow with their interest in whatever the topic might be along with these people. That is an absolute home run. So like I applaud you guys. I think that like there's a lot of podcasts that are out there, and statistically I think they say something in the ballpark of like 80% of podcasts fail by episode 6. You guys have already blown that away.
Thank you.
So congrats.
Thank you.
That's the hardest part, is the consistency, is getting it going. Like, and I think you guys are absolutely killing it. Do you, like, as far as like production goes and everything, how are you guys coping with it? Because like technology makes things pretty easy in a lot of ways compared to like back in the early days. But like, what have you guys been doing? Is there anything that you've wrestled with?
Yeah. So we started out like, we were using, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's called Audacity.
I use Audacity at this show.
Yeah. So we were doing Audacity. Yeah. We've moved over to StreamYard to try to make it a little bit easier on us. We are adding a bit of a visual aspect as well.
Yep.
We got our new DJI mics, our DJI camera.
Yep. Nice.
Which is going to help us create more content. We're hoping to like make more shorts, more stuff out on the water, stuff like that.
Yep.
just kind of make it a little bit more content driven, so they get to see a little bit more.
No, that's awesome.
As far as production wise goes, he's the editor. He edits everything.
How is
the one thing I didn't want to do?
Yeah. How is that for you, James, as far as like the editing process? Like, I'm a weird guy. I live for this shit. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts?
I like it most times.
Yep.
How many times Matt has received little sound bites in his inbox while I'm doing my editing Saturday mornings.
You don't know how many times I've said some real inappropriate things that were not meant to be inappropriate, but when it's in a little snippet, you're like, damn, that sounds super inappropriate, man.
We have a couple of those that are in the show this week, specifically when Joe is talking about
packing orders
for AVF tackle. Yeah. There's some good ones. Yeah, there's a gem in here that it might make a fishy trivia buzzer. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Yeah, because as fishy trivia grows, I'm going to have custom buzzers that are just going to be clips from the sound from the show, clips from YouTube, shit like that. So people will be like, oh, yeah, I'll use the Alex Perrick, like, oh, my God. You know what I mean? Like shit like that.
It was 10 pounds.
Oh, even better. One of my favorite fishing clips ever. Did you guys listen to the fucking episode I did? This was after I got back from North Carolina with the Jabberhammer. And he and I were talking, and I was like, you guys keep fucking up the is it bass or ass segment on their show.
Oh, dude, yes.
I was like,
I love that segment.
It's hilarious, but I go, you guys don't go like the distance. So I was like, I made one where I took, now this is showing my age for sure, but Adam Sandler back in the day had this highly inappropriate sketch where he played a character that was running a contest on the street with people he would talk to. He'd go, I'm going to play you an audio sample. Is this couple working out? Or are they having sex? And I would take those clips and I'd play them. And then I asked her, of course, before I did this, because she's my homie, Becca. There are few people that when they catch a fish are as excited as she is. And I edited a string of her like just exclamations. And I put this together and I sent it to her. I was like, if this is too much, you let me know. She's like, so it's fucking hilarious. Use it. But I am going to just stop talking when I fish because I didn't realize that's how it sounded. I was like, well, there was a little bit of editing work on my end to string it together. That was like one of my favorite moments to do that. It absolutely like, and I think that has to be a buzzer for fishy trivia.
Yes, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. That's a good buzzer.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm very easily entertained. I don't think I ever developed any further past like middle school as far as my humor goes.
Well, I think we're in good company then.
Yep.
We didn't either.
That's how it is, man. 100%. Let's talk fish whistle tendencies on the water. If you guys are comfortable, I know not everybody is. If you guys are comfortable, then we can go for it. If not, let me know and I'll shut the fuck up. But do you have like a preferred fish whistle like method or like a ritual? Like I am very particular with my fish whistle activities while I'm out on the water. But I'm obviously open to everything. So where are you guys at with this? How do you treat it when you're on the water?
I'm the fish whistle guy.
Gotcha.
James is not.
Fair.
So he doesn't have any tendencies. Me, honestly, I used to just be open range. It used to be just like open range. But over the last year, Bobby, you've inspired me. I take the same aspect that you do. So I get a nice little fish whistle action before I get to the water.
Yep.
But once I'm on the water, I don't touch that whistle until the fish is in my hand.
Yep.
Once I've had a fish in the hand, that allows me to have a nice little fish whistle. And then I'm back at the fishing and I'm not going to touch it again until I get another fish.
That's what I like to treat it like a little reward, like just a little something.
I agree. And that's what I have found has become the best way to do it. Now, obviously, once you're done fishing to the day, it becomes a whole nother realm.
Oh, 100%.
While you're fishing, it's like a reward.
Yeah, just a little something. Just a little something to kind of like, like, hey, I earned this. And if it's a really good day, I find exactly. When it's a really good day, I find what I'll do is I'll say, you know what? I'm gonna bank this next pull. You know,
Yes.
for later.
Yes.
We'll get a couple more. We'll wait till we get a real big on, and then maybe I'll enjoy with a couple there. Because I'm like, especially when I'm on the water, like if I'm in my boat or I'm in the kayak, I like to be far more responsible, than anything else. But there is a large group of folks that feel like the fish whistle is like a method of calling fish in for one reason or another. Like it gives them
I want to know
luck.
what the theory is behind that, because I think it's a really cool idea, to be honest with you.
I definitely, like, I've heard from some folks, they're like, oh, I kind of feel like it just kind of like forces me to take like a short break from actually fishing. So maybe it's possible that the fish kind of reset in that because there's no lures hitting the water or anything like that. You're just taking a few minutes. But also on top of that, like, let's be honest, like you will do things with a little bit more, oddly enough, like stony alertness. If there's a way, like you'll pay a little bit more attention to the details instead of just going through the motions, because you kind of don't want to fuck something up, you know?
Yep.
Like I'm always afraid of backlashing and shit like that.
I find it kind of like locks me in.
Yeah,
like
that's the best way to put it. I think.
Now I'm so much more focused on my speed of my lure. Like you might have been thinking you were slow rolling that spinnerbait, but in reality, for the last half hour, you've been just winding that in.
Yeah, just going through the motions. Or you know what I especially like, and I will be honest, as someone who loves like finesse fishing, dragging a jig on the bottom, like a wobblehead or something like that, just literally counting rocks. It is so much more fun to drag a bait slow on the bottom when you've got a little bit of a buzz going, you know, and you're just like, oh, what is that? Is that wood or is that a rock or what? Who am I even talking to? You know what I mean? Like shit like that.
Yes.
I'm all about it. I love that shit.
I'm with it 100%.
I love it, man.
Speaking of it, Bobby, are you still thinking about doing like the guided fish whistle trip?
Yep. Yeah, 100%. In fact,
buddy,
dude, it's funny you bring that up.
I might have to get in on that,
because I have been trying to put together a conversation to bring this up on the show without like pushing it too much, because that's the thing. Like I want to do this. I'd like to actually make it like a career move eventually. Let's face it. At some point, like the bar trivia is going to start to slow down. For as far as I'd like to minimalize that as much as I can. Focus on private events and things, and then eventually I'd like to get out of the events business and focus only on fishing. And if that's a combination of guiding and content, that would be great. You know, that would be ultimately my goal. Like that would be the big dream overall. But I will say, so that couple that I brought out on that trip that I made the YouTube video for, they recently, so shout out to Kyle and Kayla. They had celebrated their 3rd anniversary. I think it's their 3rd anniversary. And they went, Kyle's originally from Florida. And which amazed me. I was like, dude, you are in like the prime fishiest areas. Like whether you want to do saltwater, whether you want to do freshwater, like whatever it is. So I think they went to the Keys actually, and they did a day on the water, saltwater fishing, and Kyle was lighting them up. Like he just absolutely killed it. And then they took their catch, and of course, you know, like when you do charters and stuff, like they always do, they'll you know, process your catch for you, so you basically leave with everything. They went off of the captain's recommendation. They went to a restaurant, and the kitchen staff prepared their entire catch for him. They were like, "This is the most amazing meal," and I was like, I said to Kyle, I was like, did you have that moment where it was like, you guys know that meme when they're like, oh, when I hook a big fish and it's like the Linkin Park song starts playing and it's like fucking shark attacks and bears and shit and bears, rhinos, all kinds of shit. And I knew you guys would catch that one. And so that's going, I was like, he's like, oh, 100%. 100%. Or like the meme where it's Schwarzenegger and they're like, you know, I just kind of wanted to go camping. My boyfriend, the moment he catches a fish, and it's like, dude, I think it's in Predator, and he's like holding the fire. He's like, oh, like that is badass. So because of that shit, I'm like, I need to get on that. I 100% do. And I also came to the realization as we recorded the rest of this episode, as we did that last night, I am breaking the fourth wall every which way in this. Like the poor listeners are going to be like, what is even happening here? But I mentioned that I realized from that trip, when I packed up all my stuff, I never emptied out my Chill Steel Pipes Yeti bong.
Ooh.
So I have bong water in there because it's all capped up, everything that has frozen and thawed and frozen and thawed. I am going to be doing a big heavy cleaning once I get the cover off of that boat. I totally forgot it was even in there. And I was like, shit.
I liked when you had them on. That was a good interview with him.
I got to tell you, man, that is the one item that I have an affiliate connection with that has sold more than anything like that whether it's like the Arc stuff. I mean, Arc is still relatively new, but Chill Steel Pipes is, I have sold more Chill Steel Pipes than anything else. And I don't know what that means for me or what that says about me, but I am okay with it.
Yeah, you know? I'll be fine with that.
I am okay. If that's how it is, that is just 100% how it is. I love it. I love it, guys. This is absolutely awesome. I'm so glad we did this. I'd like for you guys to come back on in like 6 months or something like that to kind of check back in, see how, especially like how the podcast stuff is going. I'm kind of thinking of doing like a fishy podcast like summit where like we just all get together and like fish and like kind of like connect and also create segments for our shows and shit like that. I just think it'd be badass. Amazing. And
we got to get you on our show.
Dude, yes, absolutely. Let me know.
Yeah, we have to do that.
Scheduling with me kind of sucks because I work most evenings, but like if like on a weekend, I'm more flexible. Like we'll work that out for sure. I'd love to do it. Absolutely.
We'll set it up. Thanks for having us on, Bobby. Dude, it's been a blast.
Thank you, guys. This was absolutely awesome. Before we wrap up, do me a favor. Shout out where folks can find the show, where you're on social media, all that stuff. And if you guys are working with anybody or have something that's kind of brewing in the background, there's a great opportunity to go ahead and promote that now.
So you can find us on @SmallPondsBigDreams on Instagram. It's the same for YouTube and the same for Spotify as well. Mm-hmm. That's currently where you can find us. We're in the works of getting some other places like Apple Podcasts and maybe make a Facebook. I feel like Facebook's old school, but we'll see. Currently, we're not working with anybody, but really happy to work with anybody. Would be more than happy to work with anybody in the local Ohio area. But that's where you can find us. We'd love to have you over at our show and check us out.
Where are you guys hosting your show? I know this is like deep podcasty nerd shit, but like, where are you guys hosting the show?
So I live in a Cape Cod style house where I rent a room basically.
No. I mean, I'm talking about where you're uploading to for your distribution for your RSS. Yeah.
So we haven't done RSS yet. We need to set that up. We just go in and manually drop it into each place, and then we write our titles and our descriptions. I know the RSS makes it so much easier.
Way easier. And
so we have to work on that.
There's a lot of options that are available. Like there's a bunch of them. Like when I first started, I used to use Libsyn, and Libsyn's great. It's awesome. It's a little bit pricey. But it's nice because it gives you like full control of every single thing for tags and all kinds of shit. Most people don't want to mess with that. When I started this show, I got into using it. Now it's Spotify for creators. But you can get into that and host your show there for free, upload it and connect it to all of these, I used to do it automatically. Like you would submit your show and it would automatically start plugging for Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all of these different platforms would get popped in there. But by setting that up, even with your YouTube channel, you can drop your YouTube RSS. Then you don't have to do a video version on there. It'll just upload that audio version immediately. So it makes things, and then, but if you want to post the video version, you could always upload it when it's ready and then pull the other one, make it private, something like that, however you want to do it. But I would recommend, get into that for sure. Now it seems like a lot of the services that are out there, they don't necessarily automatically send them, they don't automatically set up your accounts with the platforms, but they've come leaps and bounds as far as walking you through doing it. So like there's like with Spotify for creators, there's tools where you're like, how do I do this on Apple Podcasts? And it walks you through exactly how to do it. Makes it way easier.
That's nice.
Yeah,
I know what we're looking into.
Yeah, I would, and like you can get into it for it's nice. It is really, really nice. And also like the folks that have been listening to like the ads, that comes from the Spotify from that. Like I go and I can create and put the breaks in and everything, and it's nice because then I don't have to like, you know, it's a little bit of a kickback to keep the show running and shit like that. Like I'm throwing around some ideas for merch now. We drop ship most of our merch. You guys, I've seen you wearing like the small ponds hats and stuff like that. Are those like one-offs or you guys putting merch together?
They're just one-offs right now.
Pretty dope.
We were kind of just making stuff up for ourselves just because, you know, we want to wear it around ponds and around the exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're getting hats next. So
there was a DM I got from one of our jig heads inquiring about like if Jigs and Bigs did carpet decals for boats. And I love the idea. I really do. But I was like, number one, I'm like, we do our stuff because we're not like an apparel company or anything like that. And the last thing I want to do is acquire any kind of merch that has to do with sizes. So like, I don't want to be sitting on like 400 like small Jigs and Bigs t-shirts because we all like to throw down at Popeyes, you know, after fishing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be that guy. So I said, you know, he asked me about this and I did a little bit of research into it. And I'm like, I'm considering the idea of doing like Jigs and Bigs, like branding kits with decals that are sized for, you know, bass boats and deep V's and stuff. And then ones that are sized for kayaks. So this way you can get a couple of them to put, you know, however you want, something like that, different logos and shit.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's one of those things. Merch is always one of those, there's a demand for it, but I'm always nervous because if you don't sell it, then you're sitting on it forever and then you forget about it.
That's why we didn't do anything yet. We're so small. I was like, let's not build merch yet. We'll wait to see how this podcast grows, but we just want something.
You'll get there. Oh, definitely. You got to brand yourself for sure. Like, especially going to expos and stuff like that. You want people to remember it when they're online, they're on Instagram and they see you pop up. They're like, oh, I remember seeing these guys. I talked to them, you know, about zombie glide baits or whatever the topic was, you know?
Right.
I love it, guys. Dudes, this was so awesome. Yeah, don't be a stranger. If you guys, this is a rough one, but I can make it work if you have to do 2 separate photos. But if you have a picture where like you guys doubled up and you're each holding a couple, send it over to me and we'll use it as the artwork for the show. And also send me your logo as well because we'll use that for the artwork of this episode too.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And if you don't have a picture with the 2 of you guys in it, just send me a pic of each of you and I'll remove the backgrounds and I'll make it look like it works.
Okay, cool.
I love it, guys. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Bobby.
You guys going doing any fishing today?
We have rain and storms right now, but it's supposed to quit around 4.
There you go.
So maybe we'll get out there and fish it, but no, we're gonna go hit up that open house out at
that's right. That's
Tackle out here in Ohio.
Nice. All right. Well, you guys have fun. All right. We'll talk to you.
Hey, yeah. Have a good one, Bobby.
Awesome, guys. Take care now. Bye bye.
You too. Bye.
Hi there. Welcome to the Live Well, where we crack open a ramp beer and attempt to answer all of your burning questions.
Yeah, baby. Here we are, and we got a good Live Well segment this week. We got a bunch of calls coming in, and we're going to jump right into them. We're going to start out. We got this first call coming in from Eli. Let's see what Eli has to say.
Hey, it's Eli with a question for the Live Well. So with these, us coming into pre-spawn, and some of these wide temperature swings, like the other day it was 60, and then it was like 35 the day before, 60 the next day, and then back to like 30s again. How does that affect bass's behavior? Does that involve barometric pressure and stuff like that? And how does that affect how they act, how they behave? Or does it really not matter because the water temperature is not actually changing? What are your guys' thoughts?
So there's a part of me that kind of thinks Eli actually kind of answered this himself a little bit. It's really what I think it gets down to is that typically when you see those types of swings in temperature, especially the bigger ones, there's usually like an equal swing of pressure that'll occur there. And sometimes that's what's turning those fish off. I would say that like it does matter, but not in the sense of like that temperature's dropping like super drastically and water's going to freeze or whatever, you know? It's sometimes that pressure will just fuck them up. What you remember last week, we mentioned like fish, they want that stability. So when you have like a warming trend or even a cooling trend, as long as it's not drastic and it's a little bit more like incremental, like over a period of time, they do better with that than something that's like a big swing. And especially, I feel like lately, like in the last like 10, maybe even 15 years, we've seen like big swings in temp, like where you'll like in the spring or fall on either the extremes of the beginning of or end of each season, like you will see like a 50% increase in air temp.
Yep.
You know, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Is that what you were thinking, Joe?
Yeah, pretty much. Like especially like now, like for us that are still like locked in from ice, like that 60 degrees doesn't matter when there's still ice on the water. You know what I mean? It's not so much, you know, but no, if I wish he'd stop getting so fucking scientific.
Makes us think on the spot.
Yeah.
You know?
And like, I don't really have that answer. Like that's one of those things that I go and do the research for myself. Like when I have that question, I also go do the research. But yeah, it's if it's going from 30 to 60 to 30, especially when it comes to pre-spawn, it's not going to cause, and it's like, that's a 3-day span. You're in like mid 30s to 60 back to mid 30s.
Yep.
It's not going to cause them to start moving up.
Yeah,
it's like Bobby said, you need that consistency. There is a chance there is that chance that, you know, if you go from like 30 and then you have some 60 degrees for a few days, and so that water temp starts to come up, so they start moving a little bit, and then it goes back down. They're not going to go back. They're just going to stay where they are.
Yeah,
they're just, you know, they're going to slow their metabolism down again. It's just it's not like, you know, they start moving and then, oh shit, it's the temperature's cold again. Let me go right back to where we started. No, they're just gonna hold where they're at until that consistent, you know, water, or that water temperature gets a little bit more consistent, so they can continue their pre-spawn behavior.
Yeah, exactly. We got a couple, like John Carter asked, he goes, oh, where does Eli hail from? Eli hails from the land of chili spaghetti, Cincinnati, Ohio. So he has winters. I don't know if that part of Ohio freezes up like other, you know, up this far north or further north. But I would say that, like, you know, that's exactly like there's a lot of factors. Water temperature is only one. Stability in weather pattern period is a benefit. Anytime you throw something that's erratic into the mix, you know, like a big drop in pressure, you know, it's going to set them off one way or the other. Like there will be some kind of a reaction. Right. Jay Manning here says, let's see, I think it matters more what else is happening. If the bugs hatch and the food's up shallow, then you might find them there. They can retreat. I think that's something you also have to take into factor as well. I think that definitely, Eli, you for sure, I think, kind of answered a little bit right there when you asked that question. But that was a good one. That's a really good one. Now, this one comes in from Binya. I like this question.
Hey, guys. Binya here with a live walk question. As I'm watching the snow happen every morning, but with 60-degree temps coming this weekend, is there such a thing as too early to go bass fishing? Meaning, I know water is going to start opening up probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, but with the water temps so low, is it too early to target bass? Are you better off targeting other species? Or is it just doesn't matter? You'll find a fish no matter where they are and what the temperature is. Just kind of curious what you guys think about that. Thanks, guys.
What do you think, Joe?
Kind of plays on the last question.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
No, it's like you don't need a magical temperature to catch bass.
No, definitely not.
You just need to change your technique. That's all. Like you know, because again, they are looking for an easy meal, something that they don't have to when it's still cold. They don't want to deplete a ton of energy, so they want easy meals.
Yep. So
that's where you're like me. I love blade baits where you just kind of drop it on their head, rip it, drop it on, you know. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're targeting. You can target anything in the winter. They don't fucking go into, they're not bears who go into hibernation. They still got to eat to survive. They just don't eat as much because they're putting that, you know, again, their metabolism is super slowed down.
Yep.
And they're just looking for easier meals.
Yep. I would also say too that like there is when it comes to going out and fishing, there's, you know, he mentioned different species. So let's say, like, I think that the likelihood that you'll catch more cold water fish is probably going to play here a little bit. Like your perch are going to be pretty active. Your chain pickerel, they get pretty active too, generally before the bass start to. And even your trout species, like you can catch those on bass lures, you know, 100%. I would honestly recommend that you just go and fish and consider, like Joe said, the technique. So maybe downsize a little bit, you know, because lots of times you hear this where like, oh, their metabolism's slow. So if you give them a meal that's like a quick snack, but you put it right in front of their face, so like drag a finesse jig around, or like a small, like a real compact Texas rig or something like that, they might do pretty well with that. You know, but I, as far as like a blanket answer, it's never too late to go. If you have open water, go for it. Because I was always amazed when people would catch bass through the ice. You know, that never really like fired for me at all. I was like, really? I'm like, I never ever heard of anybody catching bass through the ice, and it happens. Like they're going to eat. What I think is more important, where are you fishing? You know, I think that's way more important.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you catch bass through the ice, but I will tell you one thing: you catch more perch, crappie, pickerel, and pike.
They'll
typically
all eat those lures, though.
Yep.
You
know? And again, it's guess what? If you're fishing in 3 feet of water near fucking whatever, a weed bed that you know is there in the summer, chances are that's not where the bass are hanging out in the winter.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, you just have to kind of identify, you know, where those bass are hanging out in the winter. Kind of do your research, because they're hanging out in that deeper stuff, my man.
That's the name of the game. You know, it's 100% the name of the game. Let's go ahead and take this one. Comes in this week from Dan. Let's check out what Dan has to say for the live well.
Hello, Bobby and Joe, and all you jigheads. This is Dan Sella. So I had a question for the live well. So I'm fishing New York City reservoirs here where I live in the Catskills, New York. So what bass lures would you recommend throwing for or using for trout, rainbow or brown trout? Thank you so much. Goodbye.
This is right up my alley.
Right up your alley, Bobby. Go for it.
So I would say there's a handful of things. Trout are, you know, they will eat it all. And I'm going to give some really off the wall examples. I caught my first steelhead on a 1/2 ounce swim jig. That was just a random bite, you know. I have caught trout on Ned rigs in the past. I've got friends of mine who have caught rainbow trout on bass jigs. You know, they're like, why are these things even eating this? It doesn't make any sense. What my point is this, is that trout will eat almost anything, especially like depending on how new they are to being stocked in that body of water, for instance. But they'll eat it all. And once they kind of have their wits about them and they're hunting, man, they will eat voraciously. I do want to say some of the best tips are to take your favorite presentations, right, and downsize them significantly. So, like, I like to throw a lot of like soft plastic swim baits. What I'll throw them on is like an 1/8 ounce or 1/16 ounce head, and I'll get like a 2-inch, anything like 2.5 inch to 2 inch, something like that. Paddle tail style swim bait. They will crush that. The very obvious one is the inline spinner. And you can throw some relatively larger ones if you're more comfortable with those. Hook size definitely comes into play, so keep that in mind. Inline spinners are always gonna catch them. If they're on that bite, they're a go-to. Somebody in here said jointed Rapala. That works great. I would highly recommend looking into any kind of like downsized jerk baits as well, and just have fun with it. But I would say generally, like if you're catching off species, like I love to bass fish. I love the gear. I love the techniques. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the reason why I like bait finesse so much. Really, if you just want to apply that to more of a multi-species sort of mode, I would suggest that you look into just downsizing a little bit and making sure that those fish you're targeting are in that body of water. I do want to mention, you want to go like total extremes. I think, Todd was with me when I caught that. He says, put a dildo in my order, Joe. Todd was with me on St. Clair when I caught that steelhead. My PB brown trout, right? It's 24 inches long, and it came on like essentially like a beetle spin style lure. It was a light 1/8 ounce jig head with a Bronco blade from Mule. And, it's like if you just downsize a little bit, unbelievable. Dan says, my jerkbait game is horrible. Don't worry, man. You get there.
They're so easy.
It's I think it's tough because some people really struggle with like the application of like where to fish them.
Sure.
And then sometimes they just don't want to jerk, What do you got?
So I have really nothing. I think you nailed it. I just remember, and I don't know if Jay's still in here. I can't remember if it was back when I still had Old Glory. It was either Jay Manning or Chris DeBari came and bought a rat from OGO. Went to a local place. I'm not going to say what place it is, and then caught a monster fucking rainbow on the rat.
That's insane. But they'll eat, That's awesome. Yep. That's awesome. Hey, no problem, Dan. I'm glad you were here live to experience it. That's awesome. Yep. So I would say, just downsize a little bit, throw your favorite stuff, and fish for the conditions, so if they're eating off the bottom and, they're just, maybe throw like a small Ned, something like that, work that on the bottom. It's nuts what you can accomplish with like a small plastic and a jig head. It's crazy. And then I think, is it just one more? I think that's it. Yeah, this is the last one that we have, and it is from Eli. Once again, let's see what Eli has to say here.
Hey, it's Eli with a question for the live well. This is kind of a response to Brandon's question last week about the shout out to NJ BFS gang. But this is kind of a response to his question last week about making a fishing log and tracking your catches and all that. I know there's like different apps to track all this, but I know like there's another app or website that I found, Bass Thumb AI. I think you guys had them on the podcast. But my question and / response to that is, what are your thoughts on using kind of AI to help track that and maybe help necessarily organize it? I know I use AI and different stuff like that, Google Gemini and stuff like that in my classroom a lot, and it like can help format things really well and like create outlines, and then you can fill in information as you go. So I was wondering, like, what are your guys' thoughts? Also, Brandon, that might be a way you go to help kind of not necessarily speed up that process, but help organize it and kind of create a document that then you can possibly fill in and stuff like that. So, yep. What are you guys' thoughts on using AI to keep track of that stuff and kind of organize a lot of that?
Joe, I think you and I might have different opinions on this.
So I am I'll be 100% honest. I'm very pro AI.
Yep, me too.
You know, AI is, how do I want to answer this?
It's tough. I mean, I can, you want me to jump in while you let it marinate?
Jump in. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to marinate on that because I want to say it correctly. So I don't sound like a dick or anything.
I want to say it like this. There are, and this is one of the reasons why I really don't like using the term AI with phishing, right? And it's only because of the brand thing. I'm afraid that folks will think, oh,
this is going to tell me where I catch the fish.
And the thing is that Eli, again, I think he kind of nailed it in the question. If you wanted to use AI to take the data you have and have it pick up trends and review that information, I think you 100% could do that. I think that would be good. There's an asterisk there. It depends on how detailed your information is you're submitting to AI. So a good example might be if you wanted to put together like a spreadsheet, right? You could filter that information right there, but the learning curve to do that might be a little bit tricky just to know like the things to look for. But you could submit that as like a CSV file to like ChatGPT or whatever and say, analyze this and find the trends where I caught the biggest fish or where I caught the biggest whatever, and then have it do the work to put that together. I think that is a positive. You know, that in a way you are working smarter instead of harder, like racking your brain, or you know, but the reason why I say it's critical is that AI does make mistakes. You know, it does make mistakes. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. I hate doing this, right? I hate using any AI platform in order to research for like trivia questions. But what I do is I ask it for its source material. So this way I can take that information and say,
according to such and such, what is this?
And it kind of gives me a buffer there. You are the source material in this case. So you've got to make sure that all of your information is there and is as accurate as humanly possible. So like when we answered Brandon's last question last week, that was kind of what it was. You know, you need to get as many of the variables as possible and put them in order. You know, so like you want a snapshot of all the information. You want to, I would recommend attaching photos to this with all of your location data on there so that if you submit it, it can be factored into looking for whatever the patterns are, trying to analyze it. And I'm not saying that that's going to be a home run or anything like that. Like it might spit out data multiple times and be just off the mark, you know? But I will say this much, by having that, you might even pick up patterns before you even submit it, as long as you go back. But let's say you fish for 3, 4, 5 years. This isn't something, you're not going to like do a month of fishing and drop that information into AI and have it be beneficial. It's going to take years to do it. Like I would say at least 3 to 5. And then the more data you have and the better organized it is, you know, the more details you have to submit, I think you'll get a better outcome with it. I mean, just, you know, I mean, I am pro AI. I get it. You know, I get it. It's very useful. But dude, some people like take what it says as fucking gospel, and it's not, you know? Look at my last thumbnail on my YouTube video. Look how fucked up my hand is. 3 to 5, like a jail sentence, Bobby. Goddamn right, John. You're goddamn right. What do you think, Joe?
I think you're right there. I think you're right there in my opinion. The only thing not very often, Bobby and I disagree. The only thing I disagree with, I actually disagree with the 3 to 5. I agree with it where you're not going to actually, especially us being up here where we have a season, we can't fish all year, respectively. Trends, yes, obviously, the longer you take, the better. The better, the better the trend is. That's a true trend, but I feel like telling people like, hey, knowing me, like if someone's like, yeah, dude, like start writing down your stuff, but you got to understand that's going to take 3 to 5 years. I'm going to be like,
I'm not
my
doing
ADHD. I'm all set, dude. I'm not waiting. I can't remember what I fucking ate for breakfast this morning. So what you have to understand is, yes, that it is true. What Bobby's saying is true. However, it doesn't mean that it doesn't work year to year as well. There are aspects where it's going to work because guess what? You might not remember going to a certain body of water that maybe you only fish once a year. Be like, fuck, like I know I did pretty good last year. I just can't remember what I was using.
Yep.
I don't really remember what the weather was like. And that's where it can be good. So I don't totally disagree. I think to get a true trend, like, yeah, you need some time, but
Well, and I think you made a really good point there because, like, let's say there's a body of water that you only go to one time, a year. Maybe you go 2 or 3 times, but those times are in different seasons. That data isn't necessarily going to really react to one another, and that's where going year after year. So, like, I'll give you a perfect example. Good friend of the show, Janelle. She goes to Lake Champlain twice every year at the same time, essentially. Once for sure. Like usually it's in the spring, and then I think sometimes there's another trip in the fall. So like if you only had 1 year in the books and you looked at it, it would be looking at like 2 weeks that are totally different seasons where different things are going on depending on, the weather for that. But if you start looking at 2 or 3 or 4 years, then you can kind of start to see because you're about there the same time of year. You got an idea. Yeah. It's in the ballpark. Like I think more than anything, like my point is just that like the longer you do this, the better. And, actually, Joe, you make a really good point. Like, I think most people, if they can't do this in a year or 2, they're probably going to be like, why am I bothering? Because they lose sight of the goal. It's like, dude, it's a commitment like a marriage. It's a commitment like a puppy. Your database, it is. It's great. And I am a terrible fucking doggy daddy because my database is
hot garbage.
I'm relying on some of the worst sources. Like I need to do something about this in order to really put in the work. So when I say all this shit, I'm saying this because I'm like,
Bobby, you're a fucking idiot.
Could be doing this, and like a moron. Billy Bean of Fishing Analytics, but live your most days, Joe. There is your documentation. Little Diddy only fishes the same bay every time. Yeah, but actually that would be even more helpful because at least that data was in the same area. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. At least it was in the same area. So if like,
it brought it like
Little Diddy. What do you call her fucking Little Diddy? That's fucked up.
There's a much bigger. You got to think of it too. There's different aspects to this, and the picture gets a lot bigger. So don't think of it so much as like, okay, I'm on this body of water again. Yeah. Fuck, I wasn't at this body of water this time of year, this type of day. But that doesn't mean like every body of water is different. Look at your shit from the year before. Be like, okay, I was fishing like this time of the year, like this week last year. Mm-hmm. It was pretty similar, pretty similar weather. I was like, I did pretty good at this place. What was I using here? It's a good chance that might carry over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. Because like if you're like, holy shit, these fucking winds are crazy. It's 25 miles an hour. You could filter your information all over the place and have an idea. Yep. It might tell you some things that you were like, wow, those are really more effective in the wind. Okay. okay. Yep. It's all about those little pieces right there. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. So that's the whole thing. I like just fish. But like, I think overall, like, I do feel like there are people who are out there that are just like, oh, I'm going to go fishing. I'm going to plug in my phone. So where are the fish? I'm going to cast over there. Like, AI is not going to be like, oh, there's one right there yet. I'm not saying it's never going to get there. You know what I mean? I'm not, again, like I'm not. What is it? Who is it? Did John Hagen said it right here? Is this Skynet will infiltrate your fishing spot and spread the information to everyone? What is the possibility that ChatGPT uses your info to inform other fishermen of vital info based off of your submissions? You're 100% right. You're 100% right. You know, like it's one of those things that you have to take into consideration.
Like fish brain, it's terrible, dude. Well, fuck fish brain, man.
I have always said when it comes to like fish brain, their biggest downfall is when they essentially tried to become Facebook for fishing.
Yeah, like social media.
The social aspect of that app is ridiculous. And really, I think all of the like the public catches, to take everything with a grain of salt. You know what? When I do, because I use FishBrain to like research spots. Like, I mean, this is how Bobby Roast Beef works with the fishing apps. Okay. Yeah. This morning I found a reel from a food creator. What did you eat today, sir? This dude's awesome. I think he's from Revere. He was up in Dover, New Hampshire, at this fucking awesome looking sandwich spot. And I'm like, fuck. I was like, I text Paul. I'm like, because we're fat fucks. I go, Paul, this is a spot. We got to go. I share him the link. He's like, it's like a 2.5 hour drive. I was like, look, man, let me do a little bit of work. So I go around, I'm looking at lakes in that area. And I'm like, sometimes that app is fucked up. Like, it's got boat launches in places. There ain't no boat launch, you know? So then I'll have to go to like Google Earth, fucking zoom in and find the parking lot and go like, there it is. But like with this situation, a lot of the times what I'll do is I'll just flip through the catches and I won't even pay attention to the catches. I just want to know how many of those fuckers are on boats. Because if I see boats, then I know there's a launch. Most likely. And then I'm not wasting my time. You know, I just scroll through and I'm like, there's a boat, there's kayaks everywhere. There's a bunch of bank things. There's boats in here. I was like, odds are there's a public launch. Let's put the work in and find it. That's what I use it for. Because the public, especially the public posts, people fuck that shit up all the time. Sometimes intentionally, other times not. So I go on and on about that shit.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's exactly why Benny goes, FishBrain will show people catching species that don't exist. I wouldn't be surprised to see some claim they caught a bluefin tuna on Champlain. I've seen people say that they've caught like bull sharks in fucking Winnipesaukee.
Oh yeah, I saw fucking I've seen peacock bass around here.
Amazing, right?
Yep.
Amazing. Yep. It's like, come on, man. So there are people who do that intentionally to like throw shit off and make it fucked up. But, you know, it's funny too. Like I leaned into FishBrain hard when it first came out. I started the podcast. I was like, check out trying to promote the podcast on there. We have a small handful of people. Alec is one of the guys locally. I remember at the 300th show, he was talking with me. He told me the story like 3 times. Alec was fucking hammered at that show.
Alec was ripped.
He was ripped. Do you know what it was? The Blizzard of 78. It was the Blizzard of 78 that got him. I remember the Blizzard of 78.
Not me.
I might just leave this down here and be like, you know what this scene needs here is a fucking candy dick. That's what it needs. Oh my God. So yeah, that is our live. I would say, Eli, tread cautiously with AI. I think using it to tweak your data might not be a bad thing because it might be able to pick up trends that you're not even considering. Who knows? You know. Who knows? Thanks for coming to our TED Talk, guys. Hey, we are going to see you guys with more Jigs and Bigs goodness coming up in just a little bit. Joe, did you have anything you want to wrap with before we wrap this sucker up?
No, man. Just, go check out avftackle.com if you get a chance. It'll be too late for here, but for the jig heads right now until Sunday, it's open 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 10 for 10% off until Sunday.
Sunday. That's awesome. So if you guys are listening to this show, just go check out AVF Tackle because like we said earlier, Joe's got deliveries coming. And some of that stuff that you saw on there that might have been sold out will be restocked very, very soon.
Yeah.
And inventory
You know
will
what,
be good.
Bobby?
Yep.
For the listeners, I'll extend it to next Sunday, the Open 10.
Holy fuck, you guys don't understand how fucking generous that is.
Yep.
You guys are amazing. So that's like a Jigs and Bigs exclusive. Don't share this shit with too many people. You know, don't share it with too many people. I mean, go ahead and share it with people, but you know, we'll throw a commercial break right before there, and we'll. You guys are absolutely awesome. Can't thank you enough. Open water is going to be here soon in the Northeast. We're slowly getting there. I thought it was going to be warmer today than it was. I thought we were going to get more rain than we got. It's going to be slow going. I think next week looks pretty solid. So I'm going to get this boat situation together. I got reels that need a spooling. I got more unboxings to put together and tackle that needs to be organized. I hope you guys are having a good one. Tag us in your fish pics if you're sharing them. And as always, you can check out everything you need at jigsandbigs.com or whatever you're into. And we're going to be having links posted up there too for the tournament series that you can check out. But just go over to the Fishing Chaos app and search Jigs and Bigs. You'll see all those tournaments there for you to check out. And yes, the team trail is coming. We're working out some kinks, getting some stuff lined up. We will see you guys in 7 days. More Jigs and Bigs goodness. Say goodnight, folks.
Tits and ass, smoke some grass.